This is the flight into the fair.
Oops, still muted. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the actual final day of Frostbite. Did not update that on the stream. My bad. This is Frostbite Day 4, so we are going to be watching the final 3 games of the tournament. We have the single elimination bracket. The first match that we are going to see is going to be between the Meta Busters and the Mass Valorant Pirates. And the second game we are going to see is going to be between the Spectres and the Rift Sharks. And the final game of the day is going to be between the winners of those 2 games. Before we hop in game, I do have Alana here on for an interview. Alana was playing for Andromeda, who unfortunately was eliminated during the Swiss stage. Alana, do you have any thoughts about your team going into the season, or any big takeaways from your time in the Frostbite tournament? Okay, I think maybe Alana is not here. Oh, I'm still deafened. Oops, okay. Sorry. My bad. Will you repeat my
Uh,
question? Or...
no, I heard it.
Okay, cool. Sorry about
Just
that.
like anything to say about it. Uh,
Yeah, tournament or thoughts going into the season, or just anything about your team?
um, we certainly we certainly did participate. Yeah. Yeah, we were certainly there. Um, Cam, Stanley, and Dave, Zach putting his whole their whole energy into the team. Sometimes things don't go the way that we wanted to. And so I know the um our final Swiss round was really, really miserable. Um yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate. Sometimes that does happen.
I'm shocked that was streamed.
What, the
Because
Alawi
the
GP? I thought that game was fine.
yeah, I did great that game. I did great that
I
game.
mean, everything's streamed, so
Um
yeah. I mean, I think your team did have some standout performances. The memorable ones for me are Cam played really well on the
mm,
Fizz and the Master Yi in those first couple games. Then
yeah.
obviously the Collected for the Kids collector brand game. Do you
Oh
have
my
any
God,
insight
yes.
on the comms during that game?
Dave would not stop screaming. So like every time he got a burn kill, every single time, just burn kill him and Stanley and Cam, just like, yeah, collected for the kids, and he just kept spamming it the entire time. Because we were just like, oh, should you get collector? I don't know, but it'd be kind of funny. And then he just kept saying collector for the kids. It was so funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good joke, and we did end up matching Brand's donation to the charity, so did end up having a positive impact. Unfortunately,
Oh,
that was the only game that you guys were able to win, but felt like you put up a pretty good fight in most of the games, so it was good to see a showing from
yeah.
your team, and we were actually able to see your entire roster on that first day, which is nice. Not every team was able to do that, so I'm definitely excited to
Yeah.
see
Because
how
originally
your team
originally
does during
Adam
the
wasn't
season. Right.
originally Adam wasn't available, but then Adam was like, "Hey, never mind." And originally Stanley wasn't going to be available either.
Right.
But Stanley also his thing got canceled.
Yep. So is there
So yeah,
anything
first
that we
day.
should expect for the season that'll be different than what we saw in the tournament, or are we going to get to see more of the good stuff and
Um,
less of the one-sided games as we go into draft?
my team has a lot of potential, and I think a lot of people don't see that. Whether or not it's just because of like all 5 of us, but a lot of people because like Adam and I are like not super active in the server, while like Cam and Stanley are literally admins, and Zach. So like Adam and I are kind of like behind Cam, Zach, and Stanley just because they have such a present figure in the server. So I feel like a lot of people are really underestimating Adam, especially. Like, I know the Gangplank game, like, afterwards, like, I spoke to Jonah, and Jonah was just like, you're getting, like, Adam during that game was just like, oh, I didn't do any damage. Like, I couldn't do anything to them. And then when I told Jonah that, Jonah was just like, oh my God, no, like, Gangplank almost one-shot me every single time. And I just, Gangplank's not so good right now, but, like, a lot, people just weren't expecting that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I know when I was scouting, I believe the first like scouting scrim we did, Adam was in it, and I was very excited to get to watch him play. Did not let me down.
Yeah,
The
Adam
Zeri
Snaves.
top pick was a bit interesting, but he
No, it
managed to
was
make it
so fun.
work
It was
out.
so
So
fun.
yeah, I'm hoping
No,
we'll get to see some stuff like that during the regular season. But if not, he is a very good player, so I'm excited to see kind of how that
yeah,
works out.
absolutely.
Yep, and I enjoyed watching the flex potential too, where you ended up going top lane
Oh my
in
god,
the second
yeah.
day. That was pretty fun.
A
The
lot of
solo
us,
kill, fun stuff.
a lot of us, all of us are flex players basically. All of
Yeah,
us will play anything. So like, even Zach was talking about like, what if I go mid? Because I think on the website, it's literally that like three of our like half of our team, three players on our team are first prio mid.
yeah,
I'm
that
pretty
sounds
sure
right.
I'm pretty sure it's Cam, Stanley, and Zach. They're all mid prio first, and so it's really funny that all of us are basically mid laners that are just forced to flex.
Yes,
And
yeah, it
so
is
I,
three mid laners, a fill player, and a top
yeah,
laner.
yeah, no, that's certainly our team. You might as well change it to all flex at this point because if you
Sure.
ask those three to be like, "Hey, can you do this?" They'll say yes. You know, it's
Yep,
just it's the I picked up jungling because jungling is a hard place to be right now,
fair.
and times are struggling. Times are hard.
Exactly. All right, I am gonna cut to the Nutbusters real quick. Gonna drag them in there. Thank you for your time, and I'm excited to see your team
Yeah,
play more throughout the season. I think we
yeah.
will get to see that flex potential come in. More importantly, once we do get to see some draft games instead of blind pick.
Yeah,
So,
when does the season start one more time again?
uh,
Is it next weekend?
yeah, next weekend.
Next weekend. Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
All right. Bye bye. And
Bye.
we will hear from the Nutbusters.
Don't bring him in here. No.
The guy that didn't play.
Platform to announce that we're actually looking for a new starting support. Right.
What did I do? Just because I
Not
wasn't
show
there?
up.
Look, man, I was busy.
Look, you were busy watching a Giants game. What did they do? Lose to the
Hey,
Vikings.
the Giants won, you fool!
Did they?
Yeah, they won.
I don't care.
They're playing your Philadelphia Eagles this weekend.
Yeah, and then they're gonna lose there because the Eagles always win.
All right.
Alright,
So
whatever. What are we supposed to talk about?
back to league instead of football. Mike and Blake, you guys are actually very fun to have on this call because we did get to see the Rengar Ivern pulled out twice. Mike is a bit of a Rengar one trick, has an excellent summoner name that I might not speak on Twitch, but
You probably don't want to get banned.
exactly.
It's not bad.
Nothing offensive, but easier
Yeah.
to just simply not speak on it. But
Leave it to the imagination.
yes. So, what was the call to play the Rengar in the third game, even though you hadn't brought it out in the previous two games?
I think I was there. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, you were talking about Rengar in specific.
Rengar
Yes.
Ivern. Well, the thing is, normally when we play scrims, Rengar's banned like every game. And so I'm like, this is probably like the one opportunity we get to play Rengar Ivern for fun. So I was like, yeah, let's bust it out.
Yeah. So you think there's zero chance that you ever get it during the regular season?
They know who I am.
Uh,
They know who I am.
They know, yeah. I doubt if I do get it, then it either the Rengar gets banned or the I don't think both get through.
That's fair.
There's going to be a strong force preventing that coming out.
Yeah.
I won't name names, though.
The Matrix.
And you think
Yeah, the Matrix.
Taxi flexing to support on the Yuumi, do you think that was a huge reason why you were able to do so well in that third game?
Yeah. Probably because Al and Taxi play together. Like we all play, so they got that. I guess they got that synergy.
Yeah, you could definitely
Yeah.
tell. There's a big improvement. I feel like I didn't play terribly, but you could definitely see that there is some synergy when Alex and Taxi were able to
Yeah.
play together. I believe it was Jin Yuumi in the third game.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, it was very annoying to watch. I feel like you could
Much
see.
to my dismay.
Yeah, I mean, Taxi made Yuumi look like a real champion. I could just like zoning people off the wave by himself on Yuumi. So
Well, he was kind of into
Watch.
Katarina and Zaleen, so.
yeah. And then in the fourth game, what do you think went wrong, where you weren't able to clutch it out with the same composition?
Well, we
Ah.
knew they were gonna go Poppy,
Yeah.
because Joel is a squid. And we can't pick real characters. We have to pick tanks. But I think if we just kind of went like Olaf instead, we were talking about going like Olaf or like a different enchanter, and instead of Rengar. Rangargle. And I think that would have cleared up some of the issues because Olaf would have been really good in their comp because it was like Kate, Karma, Lux, whatever.
Yeah. I think the other interaction that was pretty funny is Ivern does have a dash in his kit that got canceled by Poppy a lot, so
Yeah.
I think that led to some of the negative interactions in the top lane. But overall, it was fun to get to see most of your team together. Unfortunately, PB did not play any of the games, as you mentioned earlier. But
He names.
Yeah, he is a squid. No game.
we got to see
I think
like 80% of your roster, though, which was pretty fun.
I think the issue with the second game is that the second game that I played was that Poppy is a way worse matchup for Ivern than Cassante is. Cassante loses to Ivern, but Poppy goes even with him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's all from me. That's all about the Vern.
Yeah.
Matt just messaged me Copium, and I don't think he's ever played a game of top lane in his life, so I think he needs to shut his trap.
All right. Anyway, we will try to head on to the games. I know I'm looking to get an interview from the team that loses the first game, and they say they're on a bit of a deadline. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. Do you have any parting thoughts going into the season to kind of just like hype up your team? Is there anything we can expect to see, or are we going to keep it a secret and we'll have to find out in the first week?
Every team should leave Rengar and Ivern open.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let me play it. It'll be fun for me.
Okay. Can we do that and then pick Poppy into it again?
Yeah, I'm down for the run.
Yeah, but what if we just put the Rengar mid and now it's Olaf too?
Oh, God.
What do you ever think about that one?
Okay, maybe not.
Matt, your Rengar goes hard, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, bro.
The Rengar support.
All right. Thank you for having us on.
All right, I am going to head into game.
Have fun.
All right. Yep. Thanks for hopping on.
Thank you for having.
Yep. All right. I think Jacob was saying that he did make a donation, but I did not have the overlay configured properly. That would be my bad. Yep, so it looks like we got 2 donations. One was before the stream for $20 from my dad, actually, and then Jacob tipped $25 just now, so I will update the donation count. All right, so we are at $206.75 for one of the 4 charities listed on the bracket. Right now, there are 4 teams left, and it is Spectres representing Food Not Bombs, the Rift Sharks representing the Ocean Defenders Alliance, the Mass Valorant Pirates representing Vet Ranch, and the Metabusters representing the Brain and Behavior Foundation. We are actually going to watch the game between the Metabusters and the Mass Valorant Pirates first, and since this is a single elim stage, we are actually going to see drafts for these games. So we'll be hopping into that shortly. We're just going to take a quick overview at it. I will need to update the rosters accordingly so that we are accurately representing which teams were participating or which players were participating in this game. I believe it was Metabusters on the blue side and the Mass Valorant Pirates on the red side. And if I remember correctly, the lineups were Heroic as the top lane for the Valorant Pirates, and then Jackson in the jungle, Steve in the mid lane, Garrett subbing from the Metabusters for ADC, and the support was Aya. Frostbite, 23 semis. And then for the Metabusters, I do not remember the composition. If anyone is able to help me out, that would be very fun. I am hearing right now what the roster is. It is being typed to me. I believe Hidiri was playing top lane. It would have been Gruer in the mid lane, and potentially Jacob Honan bot lane. Yes, okay, so I got it right. And we will be updating this shortly. If anyone else would be able to cast, just send me a ping. Would appreciate not having to do it by myself. But if no one else can, that is okay too. Okay, and then Honan. And for the Valorant Pirates, Jackson, Gruer. Oh, not Gruer. Okay, looks like we should be good. Gonna hop into draft real quick. It's a bit broken. Might have done something wrong here. But anyway, it is the Metabusters versus Mass Valorant Pirates. It looks like Cho'Gath is locked in first. I believe this is going to be another support Cho'Gath for Honan. It is countered by the Maokai and the Karma lock-in. Maokai, I believe, is going to be the jungle pick for Jackson, and Karma is most likely going to be support. Silas and Kaisa locked in. Kaisa and Cho'Gath actually have a lot of synergy. The Q is going to start stacking Plasma for Kaisa to build up on it. And Silas is a really good counterpick into the Maokai jungle, able to steal away Maokai's ultimate, which he can utilize very well. And I believe he also just wins fights. And then Xayah is picked up as the counter for the Mass Valorant Pirates into the Kaisa. It helps mitigate some of the burst potential that Kaisa does have. And then Darius is locked in blind by Heroic, which is countered by Hidiri's Jace. And then Zoe is locked in blind for, I believe, Gruer, which is then counterpicked by Corki, which I believe is played by Steve. So after we headed over draft, I'm just going to get us into game because it took a little bit to get started. And we can talk more about it. Hello, Valor.
How are you?
Good. We are going to hop into game real quick.
Who's playing? I'm just kidding.
You versus Metabusters. So avoid spoilers if possible. Or I guess you weren't in this game, so that's actually very helpful.
I ain't got no spoilers.
All right, you might know who wins, but you weren't in the game. All right. What do you think of the mid lane matchup? I know that is probably one of your most played roles, Zoe versus Corki.
So little do people know that Zoe is actually a very good poke and harassing mage early game. If you utilize her passive properly, you can put a lot of burst onto people super early. But Corki isn't bad at trading. It's just he takes such a decent amount of time to scale up that if Silas were to play this lane out for Zoe, Zoe should easily get the favor on it.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
but I think Corki and Xayah, especially with the Maokai to help out, should end up outscaling here. If they get to the late game, right? Okay.
100%. The Corki outscales Zoe by a long shot. It's just that Zoe does still have like the one-trick pony ability.
Gotcha.
But and then Xayah and Kaisa both scale like very favorably. I mean, they used to be like the counter picks to each other in meta, and they still have that now that Xayah is starting to become playable again, especially next patch when she gets even bigger. That it would be very viable for both those two to always match up against each other. So
yeah, but I think this should be an interesting matchup. I like the Maokai Silas. I think it's really fun. Maokai is insanely strong right now. I think he's at like a 55% win rate. So it's a very tough pick to really deal with correctly, but if no one plays this right and has better Maokai ultimates than Jackson does, I think he's in a really good position, especially if he's able to get successful counter ganks off. Because Silas does do pretty well into tanks as the fights last long enough for him to get multiple Ws in, which allows him to stay healthy throughout the plays. I am going to focus most of my attention on the top lane, I think. Hadiri and Heroic, I believe, have not played each other previously, so this could be a pretty intense matchup. The Darius blind pick is very aggressive. In solo queue, I do like Darius as a blind pick, but I think it gets a lot tougher. And Gruer does get some early poke off, like you were talking about. Chunks Steve down to about half.
Yeah, the Darius blind in solo queue for sure is a very viable thing. But you know, I've said it many times. Even in a lower elo setting, when you're playing team versus team, it changes a lot of how you have to play and how even some matchups will work. The environment changes. Like there's a lot of you know, I'll use myself as an example. I'm a very aggressive player, and I have a tendency to overtrade a lot. And in team play, that can be in my favor because it can be used as bait, and the communication is just there, like for everything I'm doing. And then in solo queue, like it's just I'm gonna get camped, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it could still happen here, but at least you have a team to kind of communicate you and let you know that the jungler's always going to be there. And Jacob's getting poked out very aggressively here by Aya, playing very well in the Karma.
Yeah, that's something we've had a lot of talk about. As practicing with them, you know, a little spoiler for everybody. I love Aya.
Oh, Heroic flashes in.
Gets the ghost even.
Yeah, that is a fully sacked Darius passive. He should be able to just pick this up. Autos gets first blood on the Darius. Yes.
Yeah, the downside here for us was that the two people who really want to face each other were not able to in this series, and that was Silico and myself. Gotcha. We both subbed out, and all we've been talking about to each other is just trash talking about.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to see that soon enough, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure.
Haven't actually made the schedule yet, so we'll see if I can get that to happen sooner rather than later. I think it is fitting to have the Busters v Busters match be the starting one, but we'll have to see.
Beautiful gank in here by Silas. Gets the chains on the Corki. Ignite from the Zoe does take out the Maokai. Corki can't do anything to help protect that Maokai there. Honestly, I would say that's pretty much just a good getting caught out. The counter gank, the aggression right there in the river. Looks like Darius is coming over. She does have a little lethality jump if Darius gets in there, but she still does have flash. She could use it. Flashes the other way, grabs the other flash. I mean, if it works, it works. Beautiful knockup from the Cho'Gath, putting the damage in, but Jasper is really low, and the Ignite drop. She does get the level and the heal. Definitely going to survive that.
Yeah, and amazingly, Gruer is able to escape here. I thought he had no chance of doing that. I was hoping for maybe some Prowler's Claw cheese under tower to go 1-for-1 with the Corki, but
I thought maybe Prowler's crawling through the Darius and then flashing, getting just like a good jump away from him, but I guess flashing towards the other flash is just as good.
Yep. Basically just double range. It's a fun play. Zoe's one of those champions where there's just so much stuff you can do, especially in those team fights later in the game where the ground is just covered with items and summoner spells.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Honen's playing really well. His previous performance on this pick yesterday, or happened a while ago, but that we saw yesterday, was absolutely disgusting. I think he had the most kills on his team, or was at least close to it on support Cho'Gath, so I wonder if he's going to be able to do something similar today.
I don't doubt it. Do you know if in the draft if they picked up the Cho'Gath or the Silas first?
Cho'Gath was the first pick of the draft.
See, right there, I grab Silas.
Yeah.
If I'm the enemy team, right there, I grab Silas. Silas is so much more fun when I am big Silas.
Exactly. Yeah, that is always something to keep in mind. It could have been really funny if we saw the Silas just go whichever lane the Cho'Gath went to. So we could have seen the Silas support tech. That would have been super fun.
Alright, we're going to start learning that.
It looks like top lane isn't super far in favor of Darius. Hadiri is able to have the farm lead with the extra range of the Jace, and it does help that Darius roamed mid to pick up a kill, but that is something that Darius is really good at. And we have $25 from Noam. Noam donation hack, 400 CS and $25. No way.
I could use that 400 CS.
Couldn't we all?
Yeah,
Completely forgot what I was talking about, but
the
Darius
Darius
roams?
the Darius roam was there, but he did get the solo kill on the Jace. It was he went to go for the Zoe, but the Zoe did escape. But it definitely the gold is very even right now, and being about 8 minutes in, this is actually favorable for the red team, in my opinion. I definitely think that since you have such good scaling champions, like getting the Maokai and the Corki and the Xayah into the late game is just going to be a lot harder. But, you know, then again, Jace, Kai'Sa, and Cho'Gath also very good scaling champions. So I don't know. I guess it's kind of a take to see which one starts falling apart early. Some trades coming up in the top lane. Heroic's getting low, takes a shot out of that. Did not want that.
Yeah, Hidiri could look for a Shock Blast, but he doesn't have the flash to follow up if he's able to hit something at long range, so could be tough to try to Ghost Spray something.
Yeah, I think since the Darius used the Summoners first in the last trade, that he definitely knows that if Darius has ult and Summoners ready. Oh, knock-up coming from the Cho'Gath onto the Xayah. Getting a little more poke damage in there. Xayah's also falling low. Favorable trade. Oh, never mind. I was going to say favorable trade in blue because they were both so low and they just got Xayah to match that. But now they're playing a little bit more behind than what they'd like. Ooh, another good knock-up. That actually was so close to making the Kai'Sa the Xayah getting turret shot there, because she threw the Q right before the knock-up and stepped out of turret range.
Yeah. If
she would have threw that Q and got hit by the knock-up, the turret would have focused her. That would have not been good.
Yeah, I do feel like... Oh my god! Okay, the Valor Pirates are just able to pick up a kill under tower. I was just about to say, Aya has been one of the standout players for me this tournament. I feel like getting to watch her play has been very impressive. Garrett pops the ult to survive there, and this is a double kill for the Valor and Pirates bot lane. But Aya's played a variety of champions. I'm not sure if she's played the same champion twice so far. We've seen the Twitch support, we've seen Yuumi, now we're seeing Karma. I'm probably missing a couple, but I don't know. She made Yuumi look like a crazy skill-expressive champion, which... I know it's possible, but we don't see it too much in this server, so definitely a fun experience to watch.
Yeah, Yumi's the AFK champ, let's not lie here. Oop! Silas is coming in, gets the ult, grabs the dash, puts in some damage. Oh, that Corki's getting low! Oh, he actually just survives that, I believe. He still has way too much health. The Maokai's coming in with ult, though. Zoe could sidestep this, but does get Rude flashed on. Oh, getting traded, goes to sleep. Does die for it, grabs the flash, but does that fall with the Maokai there. Honestly, probably, since the lane is normal state, not that bad for Zoe. Getting a Silas the kill, I wouldn't complain too much about that.
Yeah, I think that trade kind of went decently for both mid laners. So they did both, or the Corki didn't die, the Maokai did die.
Yeah.
But Steve did have to burn Flash to get out, so he's in a pretty tough spot. But now he's making Rogue top with the package, knocks Hidiri into Heroic. Heroic should be able to just pick this up. And the kill is gifted over to the Darius. Is now 2-0-0 with a solid 16 CS lead. Did a really good job of freezing the wave there. Hidiri did have to go up to try and contest it, because otherwise that CS deficit is just going to grow even more. And now with the stacked wave, Heroic can just pick it up and get an additional 10 CS on his lead, putting himself about 30 CS ahead, which is not what you want to see for Hidiri.
Yeah, definitely going to be a tough matchup for Hidiri, especially with those freezes. I'm hoping that Gnome can do something about that if Heroic does keep freezing.
Yeah, it looks like the Meta Busters are trying to snowball through mid lane. Gruer was a huge reason why they were able to win their elimination match in the Swiss stage, so it looks like they might just want to play towards them again. This comp is a bit harder to execute. It is a pretty traditional poke comp. Jackson throws out the ultimate, but Jacob is able to evade it. You have comps like this where it's 3 poke mages, essentially, with Jace, Zoe, and Kai'Sa. Obviously, Jace and Kai'Sa do have ways to go in afterwards. There's a fight going into the top lane. This one looks better for Hidiri, but it should just be a clean disengage. Oh, really well played by Jackson
Wow.
there. Uses
Yeah,
the
that
W
was really
through
good.
the Maokai ultimate. And Noam's just in a tough spot. Is going to fall down to the Corki. And gets picked up. Yes, anyway, poke comps can be really devastating when you're ahead, but are insanely hard to execute and are pretty reliant on you getting a bit of an early lead. Metabusters is able to secure the Rift Herald, but Gruer is going to die as they move forward to pick it up, and Jacob's pretty low as well. Hidiri is able to pick up a kill onto Jackson, but is traded again for another kill, going to the side of the Valorant Pirates. Finally, the exhaust comes out a bit too late, in my opinion, and this is a 3-for-1. And it looks like Honan is able to get the Rift Herald and escape, maybe? Noam goes in, turns the fight, picks up 2 kills! So now it's a 3-for-3 plus Rift, so the play that was going horribly for Metabusters is saved by an excellent play by Noam, burning the flash. The extra damage from the Night Harvester comes in huge. But they are still down a bit over 4,500 gold, which is going to be especially tough trying to play such a difficult comp.
Yeah, it's looking like it's getting a little bit I don't want to say out of control yet, but you know it's starting to look a little bit like it's going to become a harder matchup for them. But the good news is your Silas is online. He's got some items. Jackson is going damage style Maokai, so it's going to be a little bit easier to try and get him out of the fight instead of being the ultimate sustaining, never dying machine. Oh, just got out of turret range there.
Yeah, I think he did knock him into turret range. He just hadn't applied any bleed stacks yet, and he had minions under tower to tank for him. But yeah, looking at the scoreboard like this, it doesn't seem like there's crazy leads, but if you look bot lane, there's a 2,000 gold lead because the bot turret's just gone. And Darius also has a huge lead despite the advantage in the jungle. And also, Aya is up about 1,500 gold onto Honan. So Honan is not quite having the performance he did in their previous game.
It's a hard matchup. I don't know who their previous game was, but oh, and just as I say that, just dashes forward, gets the kill, putting some more damage down. Silas is coming around, but at 3v2, it's not looking too hot. But I do know that Cho'Gath and Akarma, if played out correctly, it would be really hard for Cho'Gath to become relevant in laning phase.
Yeah, I think it was Brand and something in the previous game. I don't remember what. Oh, it was Brand Ezreal. That's what the previous matchup was. And it was Sivir Cho'Gath instead of Kai'Sa Cho.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that Sivir ult on Cho'Gath would actually be really helpful.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a bit of synergy or just... I think Jacob is definitely more comfortable on the Sivir. You can see he's definitely not as comfortable on the Kai'Sa this game. It's looking a bit weaker, unfortunately. Garrett is playing insanely well on the Xayah, though. Oh, huge flank from Jackson, is able to secure 1 kill, and Gruer is dropping down low, and Aya is able to just collect him.
Hit him with the mantra.
Yeah, Aya has been doing very aggressive builds on Enchantresses. She bought the Night Harvester this game and went Luden's Medjais on Yuumi when she played that champion.
I don't disagree with it.
I mean, it was awful. I hated it.
Listen, as an MVP player and the captain of the team, we all see red.
Yeah. And for context, I hated it because I was on the other team, not because I don't think it's a good
100%.
build. Yeah, Jacob is just getting bullied by Aya this game. Gets the Ignite put down on him, and the W just picks it up. Honan might be able to just eat the Karma here, though, but does not have enough mana.
Oh, that's so sad.
He is able to break the tether, but the Gale Force coming out from Garrett to pick up another kill. Garrett was a member of the Closeted Furries last season. Team did not do insanely well, but on this team, he is having a great chance to shine, showing off that he can perform, even though his team was towards the bottom of the standings previously.
Yeah, I think he's a really good player. I've had the pleasure of playing a few games with him in Q and witnessing just any of his games he's played, and the guy's actually really good.
Yeah, I'm a big Garrett supporter. Unfortunately, I did not have a spot for him on my team this season because he'd be competing with me. So
Yeah.
I would like to participate in my own team's games, so he had to look elsewhere. But
Nah, you see, this is what you get to do. You get to sit at the caster desk like this right now and watch your team and see what they do. You see.
true, you do have a point.
If they lose, I don't know them. If they win, I built this team.
Well, if they lose, you do know them. It's just they didn't have their fearless leader there with them.
Yeah,
Jackson is going to.
Oh
Oh my gosh, good read from Brewer. Identified that Jackson was in the bush. There's fights happening on both sides of the river here. Noam's
Noam
low,
has to
trying to
push
get
him
out.
And this
Brewer
just shows.
and Honan are picked off.
And this just shows the amazing mechanical play that Aya contains as a support player. That she is at the point where she understands how strong she is and knows that even a jungle Silas isn't scary. Oh, wait a minute. Hittery actually almost took the potential there. Heroic popped the ult a little bit early.
Yeah, but
it's
Aya should
Eve.
just pick him up here. Car behind Mantra Q. Oh my god.
You know what I hate most about watching this right now, though?
You
If
could
you
have been
remember
in this
last
game.
season, no. If you remember last season, how many games did I try to show that Corki is still viable, and it did not go well? And I'm not watching Steve on my team, just showing how good Corki is.
Garrett
Mind you,
actually
Steve
does
is gonna be
not have
there.
enough to pick up the solo kill there. Burns both summoners out of the Kaisa, and Jacob is just in a really tough spot here. Things are not looking too good for him. Yeah, I don't know if it's just like the difference in the Cho'Gath Kaisa lane versus the Cho'Gath Sivir, or if it was just a bit of a blind pick surprise the previous time that they weren't sure what to expect, but it's not going as well for this team. But Noam is playing incredibly well. It's just a tough spot for him. Does not have much help from the rest of his team to support him here.
Yeah, he is in a pretty decent spot. And he does have so many decent alts to play with that I'd love to see. Ooh, that beautiful burst. See, even that Darius being as strong as he is, that Zoe can just poke and hit for so much. Oh, that would have been good, actually. That would have been a good trade. Ooh, another bubble.
Yeah, this should be a death for the Karma. Yeah, and
Yep.
Hidiri is able to pick it up. That's a 600 shutdown on the support.
Oh. No one's looking for it.
Ooh, I don't like that ultimate. I think that might be the single worst one on the team.
No, Zaya's. No, you actually no.
Yeah.
You might not be wrong. Yeah, I don't know.
Zay's is not good, but Darius is like bone useless because I don't even think you get Darius passive to stack.
No, you do not get Darius passive.
Right, so it's just like
but you still get a resetting execute.
Yeah,
right?
but it just doesn't really do that much damage. I don't know. It's a tough one.
Okay, good for backing them up. They are getting poked out by this Corki.
Oh,
and
Garrett
once
falls
again-
quite low. Darius
this Zoe-
pulls Honan in, but he does not have ultimate, so he can't finish it
Ooh.
off.
Gets the ignite off. Does pick up the flash. It's Steve. They can engage on this.
Oh.
All right, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful.
I didn't Darius up for it. Tragic.
Gnome's weight on that was perfect, though. That is something that you have to understand when you play with a Zoe, is you have to wait out that bubble and let Zoe get that Q in there, because that is the most damage. Getting the sleep, awaking from sleep from Zoe bubble is going to put out the most damage.
Feels like
who
there's
wakes
some
up too
built-up
early-
resentment
Ooh.
here. Do you have something you need to talk about?
Do I? Oh yeah, I can't stand playing solo queue Zoe. I'm telling you, everybody wakes them up, and I'm like, it doubles the damage. Who has the highest damaging ability here?
Guess what champion I was trying to hit plat on last season and ended gold 2 on?
Do not ever
is
solo queue
Zoe.
Zoe to plat.
Well, I didn't. Heroic does get picked up here. Honan is able to get his first ult stack off of a champion this game. He has 4 from minions, 1 from a champion, and he has got the Radiant Virtue.
I would love to see it.
Yeah, I is playing so well this game. It's a shame we are not doing MVP votes to really represent that, but I'm sure she'll get a few during the season.
Oh, she will. She will. I'll spare a couple, you know.
Oh, Hadiri is in trouble here. Goes to try and one-shot Garrett, but Garrett does have ulti, so I don't think anything's going to happen. And is this another kill for Aya? She considered giving it to Garrett, but nope.
She baited Garrett. She said, "Walk over here, miss that minion real quick. Come here."
Yeah, this game is a bit of a slaughter. 8,000 gold lead and 3 dragons to 0. Not necessarily what you want to see for meta busters. Noam is saying, when you were on the same team last season, you made Corky look bad because you bought Maw first. So
What?
Said first buy Maw is the issue.
I never bought Maw. That was the problem. Silico yelled at me for that.
No, I don't know.
Or no, wait, there's 2 games. One of them I think maybe I finally learned and bought Maw and it didn't work out still, but I'm pretty sure it was Silico that was like, "You buy Maw in this matchup," and I'm like, "No, I don't." And I should have listened to him that game, but then I listened to him a different game and it still didn't work.
Oh
The
my
problem
goodness.
is I have such a hard time with good late scaling mid laners. Like, if they don't have a good early presence, because I want to trade.
Right. And this should be a Baron picked up. They're on Vision, but Noam is not close enough to really contest this. This should be a free pickup. There is no Dragon for them to transition the Baron buff into. Metabusters is just in a tough spot here, though. They don't really have much they can do on the map. And Aya slows down Honing, gets pulled into the Darius. The bleed is stacking up. This should be an easy dunk. Darius does fall asleep, taking a little nap on the battlefield, is not able to ultimate. He also doesn't have level 16, so he might want to save it for a later team fight, because he does not get the full refund until he hits level 16. Noam says your second Corky game was good.
Okay.
Yeah, Noam does use the counter Maokai ultimate, is able to catch 2 out with it, is not really able to stall down the turret taking at all, though. Doesn't have too much follow-up from his team. Hadiri is on a side lane, backing now to try and help fight this team fight, but it could just be over for the Metabusters here. With this loss, they would be out from the tournament, so this might be their last stand. Noam goes in, hits a minion, but is immediately popped by Garrett and the rest of the Mass Valorant Pirates. Hone is in a similarly tough spot, but Gruer is looking to get a kill on the backside, is not able to do it. That's a triple kill for Garrett, and they might look to just end the game here. Hadiri is dropping down low. Jackson goes in, does end up dying, and Steve picks up a kill on the Corky. And the Mass Valorant Pirates should be able to secure their spot in the finals of this tournament. Yeah, we have a Garrett with a broken heart here. Garrett did not die the entire time, and what is a little funny here is that Garrett is subbing from the Metabusters and pretty much just dethroned them himself. 7-0-4, excellent performance. Obviously backed up by the rest of his team. Hyped them up a little bit for the plot line, but I think the members of the Mass Valorant Pirates were the main reason that this game went the way it did.
I'm going to be 100% real here, Noam. I think that was a cry from Garrett saying, "Why am I benched?" No, I'm just kidding.
Could be true. Alright, I am going to try and pull Noam in here real quick.
Oh, yeah, I can be the interview for MVPs. Look at that. It works out.
True. Alright. Oh, I'm broadcasting the wrong thing.
Uh-huh.
Hello there. Cool.
Good evening, sire.
Alright, hold on. Let me pop it out.
Howdy.
Hello. Alright, and nope. Still the wrong window. Why is it doing this to me?
You need to eventually recreate this with 3 cameras, you know?
Why is it
think you
not
can.
letting me... Oh, here we go. Okay. Vitrolling. Yeah, I have different screens, so this should work. But anyway, no, unfortunately, your team is eliminated. I'll try and keep this short so you can watch the Celtics, as you should, the correct decision here. But do you have any comments on the tournament or anything that we should look to expect next season? I think the big thing that everyone's going to want to talk about is where was the meta busting in the 3rd game?
I mean, yeah, no, there wasn't any. Not much I can say. Expect a lot of meta busting in the season. We've been playing Flex for hours today and yesterday, just testing out different champs. I don't want to leak anything. Zyra Jungle will definitely not be making an appearance.
Oh,
it was
no.
awful. Unfortunately, I did have press the attack. I didn't manage to change my runes on time, so it was even worse than it could have been.
So we'll see it with first strike later, is what you're saying.
Maybe.
Could be huge.
I can't leak anything. Definitely expect a lot of Cho'Gath though. That Radiant Virtue build is pretty nasty. I'm expecting Honan to perform better on it than in that last game. I think Aya just played exceptionally well. So props to her. Yeah, the tournament was really fun. I hope we do it again soon.
Probably next year. We can do something similar, but I don't think it would make sense to have a ice themed tournament in
no,
not
definitely
winter.
not.
I don't know.
Yeah, looking forward to that. I'm just excited for this season and to get revenge on all the teams that beat us in this tournament.
Yeah. Which teams did you lose for? Which teams have it in for them? I think we didn't play you
we
guys?
didn't get to play against Rift Sharks at all.
Ooh.
Which I was really sad about.
Spicy matchup.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm excited for that one. It's fun playing against all the teams because every draft is so different.
Yeah.
Like against Nutbusters, you have to watch out for the Rengar and all the enchanters in the top lane.
True.
And then against Andromeda, apparently you have to watch out for Yi mid, so that's something we'll keep in mind.
Yeah. And Collector Brand, don't forget.
And Collector Brand, yeah, collected for the kids.
Exactly.
We were collected for the kids, but hopefully the kids get to eat. So.
True.
Yeah, I'm excited. We will be flexing a lot of things everywhere, so look out for that.
Looking forward to
tune in for our games because they're gonna be clusterfucks, if I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah, that's why. Sure, let's go for it.
You're getting fined.
Oh yeah.
Oh damn. Okay, I'll put it into the charity fund.
Yeah. I'll expect to see a nice nom pop up.
You already got money from me.
Well, I mean, it's like a sorry for cursing.
Yeah, that was the
Oh,
charity.
okay, true. I'll get you. I got you.
Yeah. All right. Well, enjoy the game.
Thank you. Enjoy the next 2 games. I think there's only 2 left.
Yeah.
Good luck to MVPs and Rift Sharks and
Spectres. Yep.
Yep.
All right. Take care. Thanks for
All
hopping
right,
on.
bye guys.
Yep. Oh, now I'm huge. All right. Let me real quick set up the assets for the next game that we are hopping into. I believe it is Spectres on a red side, Rift Sharks are on the blue side this game. Both these teams are in the semifinals, and since this is a single elimination bracket, obviously if you lose a game, you are just out. Jacob tipped $5. Thank you. We will update our donations. We are at $231 right now. All right, $236 after I updated it. Trolling a bit on the cast. Forget which lineup we actually went during this game, so there's going to be a little guesswork going into this. I believe it is one that we have not previously run. Then the Spectres were Avery in the top lane. I think they just ran their starters. So Avery in the top lane, Anne in the jungle, Sarverus in the mid lane, and the Hong Kathy bot lane, seeing a return from Kathy's Kittens in the last season. Very excited for this. Been a while since we've got to see them play. Do you have any thoughts between these two teams, Valor?
I love them both and their players indefinitely, and I just hope that everyone has fun. I am not picking favorites.
Choosing not to predict.
Last match, I had the vote. You know, my vote was 100% that Metabusters were going to win.
Yep.
You know,
I totally forgot to update the standings. Hold on. Give me a second.
But I do, I do like both the teams and their players, and I think that each one of them has so many great players that can play through and make their win con, and their drafts are very, as much as you would say that some of them are like one trick or known for being one tricks in some things, they have more than one champion under their belt, and I love that. Not being able to be banned out completely, it makes the game much more exciting. When you have someone that is just like, they're known for this one thing and one thing alone, you take that off the table, and then they have to try and make up what they're decent at. While I think both these teams don't have that problem, and that's something I love watching with both of them playing.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair point. There are some champions that you have to take off the table.
100%. That's for everybody, though.
Right. But
Everybody's got at least one player that on their team that you have to take one champion away from the minimum.
yeah, but I think you have a good point that once that champion is taken off, neither of these teams are really suffering too much. Do you have any predictions for draft?
So I have no knowledge of anybody's draft here. I am going to say this though, Xerath is banned.
Maybe we'll see. I do
I'm saying
not
that's
remember.
my prediction. That's my prediction.
Okay,
If I have any predictions, Xerath is banned.
it is not. Xerath is up.
What the heck? Is it picked?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so Poppy, Anivia, and Morgana are banned against this team. The Anivia and Morgana against Healy, and the Poppy is taken away from Joel. I think there could have been the assumption that Joel was playing in the top lane. Not entirely sure. And it looks like there's a triple ban against the Spectre's bot lane. Lulu, Jinx, and Yumi are taken off the table. The first pick was actually Ziggs instead of Xerath. That champion is a bit safer as a blind pick, so that could be the change in it. We see Sarverus pick the Echo into it, and we have a Nami locked in. The Nami is immediately countered by the Blitzcrank Varus. There could have been a choice to pick up the Lucian here, but it seems like the Rift Sharks were confident that they could take Blitzcrank Varus into the Lucian Nami, as they also did not ban it in the second round. We see Anne pick up the Udyr, scholar of Mason, who is the coach of the Spectres. So we see some of the Udyr knowledge passed down.
That is why Anne's playing Udyr so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was
makes
literally
so
just
much
like.
more sense.
Well, I think something happened last season where Mason promised Anne that he'd buy her Spirit Guard Udyr if she played it in a Scrims game. And I think ever since then, Anne's been on a bit of an Udyr tear.
That makes so much
Then,
sense.
as I mentioned before, we were more scared of the Twitch and Draven for Hangbaba instead of the Lucian. So he does get to lock that in, completing the Lucian Nami bot lane. Singed Jarvan is the counter pick from Rift Sharks. Our thought was they have a lot of mobility, so Jarvan might not be great, but if Jarvan makes a Cataclysm and then Michael throws the sticky goop there in the middle, it's actually pretty hard for them to get out because they can't use the movement abilities. Very similar to the Singed Yorick bot lane that Blake and Stanley popularized. Jonah donation hack, 400 CS and $25. No shot. Thank you, Jonah, for the donation. And then the Singed is counterpicked by the Darius, by Avery. Do you have any thoughts on any of these matchups that we're seeing going into the game? It is Ziggs versus Echo, Varus Blitz versus Lucian Nami, and Darius versus Singed are the lane matchups.
So, yep, I'm looking at the matchups right now. The Darius, of course, being a good strong pick into the Singed. A big thing for me is the Varus into the Udyr. Varus is known for popping the AP Varus, especially if that's what this is going to be. I don't know though, because there's so much AP on their team, but the Udyr is insane, and I think that the jungle meta with how these bruisers and tanks are and the new items, it's insane. But it has made Varus just look so much better than he already did. And seeing like this kind of pick, because the Blitzcrank gives just Blitzcrank being on the Rift puts enough pressure on that Lucian to know, okay, I can't E forward to get the best trade that Nami Lucian do together. I now have to have my E ready for Blitzcrank hooks, and it's gonna slow tempo. Because now that the Blitzcrank's there, if Lucian misplays and goes in for an aggressive trade, and Blitzcrank just gets the full combo, and Varus gets the full combo off of that much CC, that Lucian Nami lane is not as strong as everybody would think it is.
Exactly. That was our thought behind the counter pick. Also, the Singe does pretty well into the Lucian. If he can't use his dash while he's in the goop, it makes it pretty tough for him as well. We are going to just kick it to the game since we can. And we will see this getting played now.
Okay.
Alright, I will try to commentate on this game a bit less since I was in it. So if you're fine with mostly solo casting, and I'll fill in some color as we go.
I'll do my best. I am still also gaming though.
Oh.
It's okay. I'm playing Swain. It's brain dead.
Oh, okay. I can.
Wait, I mean, I'm playing Yumi. I don't play Swain. What are you talking about? Don't ban Swain.
Yeah, ban the Yumi mid, guys. Very important.
I'm pulling it out versus Meta Busters.
Oh, let's
No,
go.
I can't. I can't. Silica wants to play against me. I have to go all out with him.
Yeah, Anne is very patient, recalling in a bush with the whole team running around her. Blitzcrank Varus were looking for an early play. We're not actually able to find anything. But Blitz is walking up here. Sarvis immediately sees the Blitzcrank and starts pathing away. Does not want to risk getting hooked at early levels.
Very wise, very wise. Do have the cleanse on the Lucian, which makes sense with the Varus and the amount of CC that can be.
Yep.
I mean,
believe-
I don't know though. There's some knockups and stuff too. So
I believe last game Hong played was a Zeri Yumi game into also a Varus, but it was blind pick, so he wasn't able to pick the cleanse. So interesting to see that he does adapt to that summoner spell when he has the draft knowledge given to him, that he is playing into the Varus, so should see a bit of different gameplay from him. It's going to be more easy for him to avoid those ultimates.
for sure.
Yeah, but looks like the Lucianami has gotten some damage down onto Healy in the early game. He's at about half. They do have the bit of the range advantage. So melee supports are able to shove the wave faster because they can take minions quickly. But the range supports do have the advantage in terms of poke. It looks like there might be a play going down bot lane. Jonah is sitting in the bush. Healy's making an aggressive play towards Hong. Hong gets ignited. The cleanse gets popped up. Healy's dropping down super low. Jonah goes onto the back line. Kathy gets low health. First blood goes over to Kathy. And Jonah's able to pick one up on to Kathy in return. The Varus arrow comes down, and I do flash and secure the kill on the Varus. This is a kill over to the Jarvan and the Varus in exchange for one kill going to the Nami.
I like it. I like it.
We've seen a lot of Echo this tournament. We did have the Cam versus Gruer Echo mirror match earlier, which is probably going to be the most exciting Echo game we'll see because it's like 2 Echo games at the same time. But I think Echo's definitely a really fun champion. We might see some Echo jungle throughout the season, hopefully. Would be really fun. I know one of our less active now players, but could see a glorious return of Peter at some point in like a sign-up. I know he's been playing some Echo. Could be fun. But he's just a very fun champion, and I hope we get to see a lot more of him. Hongbaba does get hooked here, taking a lot of damage, dropping pretty low. The kill is not going to get picked up, though. Anne is looking for a counter gank, finds the ward, and ultimately just sweeps it and takes care of it. The top lane matchup is pretty in favor of the Darius. Has about double the CS right now. The counter pick was on the side of Avery, so he did opt into this matchup. So it's not a huge surprise that it's going well for him.
Yeah,
Jonah's
for sure.
looking to flip the matchup though with a gank. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, overall, it's I mean the gold lead is very very small, but the CS difference in some of these matchups going on right now, I do like to see it. Of course, the Udyr is going to be ahead of the Jarvan. The Varus, though, as I said, that Varus Blitzcrank applies so much pressure that Lucian can't play the normal comfort. Because I mean, it's Hongbaba. This man knows how to lane, and he knows the amount of pressure that Blitzcrank's going to give is going to screw him up. And it's nice to see that the I guess the synergies and the counter matchups that people are learning and adapting to. Because how often did we see Lucian Nami last season near the end of the season, and there wasn't very much of an answer for it, you know?
Yeah, I think we did see it a lot at the end of Season 3, but things have kind of changed since then. Meta shifted a little bit. It got weaker and then got stronger again. There's some changes to both champions to try and nerf the strategy. And yeah, Jonah did go for a gank top, wasn't able to pick up a kill, but the Darius flash falling is pretty critical. And Sarvis is going up, is able to pick up a kill onto Joel. And it looks like he had the exact right amount of damage. His auto completes as Joel flashes. That's always the most frustrating thing, especially when it's like a Garen auto attack, because that champion is just dumb. Not a fan. Hong and Kathy are looking to get something done in this lane. They do have a ward to spot Healy getting back to lane, so this will be pretty safe for them. Not too much risk to hook out of nowhere because they are aware that it's coming. Looks like Riftsharks actually does have a pretty solid lead in the bot lane here, and top got evened out after the Jarvan gank. As you were saying though, Udyr is going to have a huge early advantage into the Jarvan just because of how fast Udyr can clear the jungle. I believe Anne walked slightly out of the brush there and was spotted even though there isn't a ward. But looks like the dragon is just going to get started. Looking for some early Drake pressure to help her team out. Jarvan flag is dropped into the bush to spot that the Udyr is no longer there, and Jonah walks up, sees the Udyr, and Healy hits a great hook, and Anne is ultimately going to fall. The flag drops down onto Hong. Hong's ignited, half health dashes over the wall to get to safety, and this should just be a dragon picked up for the Riftsharks, securing the first dragon of the game. This is definitely one of those drop the TY for leash in chat previously. No longer something you should do.
Don't bring it up, Dean.
Oh my god. Avery popping the ghost to... Looks like he was trying to start the play, but Singed natural movement speed plus his ultimate is enough to get him out. Michael making the intelligent early buy of the Swifties, which allows him to counter ghost with just ultimate instead of needing to trade the ults. I love that Q. I picked up like 6 CS with a single ability. Ah, oh, chef's kiss. Yeah, I am quite low on mana here, so this is a very tough spot for our bot lane, especially when Lucian and Nami have so much health and mana to their names. Lucian is getting quite close to 6, so this is a very dangerous time in the bot lane. You have to play spots like these very well, or else things can go pretty poorly for you. Hong has played very well, is able to catch up in CS, and it looks like they're going for like a bit of a wraparound play here, but just pick up the vision instead. Decided it might be too risky to go for a play under tower, and instead are just going to wait until they can safely hit 6. Yeah, and here we are going to see the play come out, get a bit of damage, but it's just not enough. And now there's another gank top lane. Michael throws down the slow zone, and Jonah shows up to get some damage down. Avery is falling quite low, but Avery actually uses the Darius ult to hop out of the bush and get the kill. Avery's falling down quite low, but Jonah's even lower. And it's so close, but ultimately Avery is able to get the double kill outplay, and now there's a fight happening in the bot lane. Hong falls low, but so does Healy. Hong is also falling low. I flash in to pick up the kill, and then Kathy's able to get one in return. So this is a huge shutdown.
Fight in bot lane, honestly. That was clean from both teams.
Yeah, a good job.
Kathy ulting as soon as Lucian got grabbed, knew to get that as much CC locked in right away so Lucian to get popped. Lucian going back in when the Ignite gets... Oh, that was... Wow.
Yeah, it was a really good job from the Spectres to help mitigate that lead that I did have on the Varus. I am able to pick up shield though, whereas Teddy does not have enough to complete his mythic item. So that is going to be a very big power spike discrepancy. Could see it exploited later in the game. I'd say we'll see. I literally don't remember, so I can't speak on it. Mid lane has been pretty even after that first solo kill by Sarvers. Seems like Joel kind of learned his lesson, playing a bit safer. Put some respect on Sarvis' name, but Sarvis is going for the dive, but Joel makes a really good heads-up play, pops the W to send Sarvis back on his way. Jonah looks to go in. Sarvis saw what was going to happen and used this E to hop back to tower and get himself out, and did also have to burn Flash to survive that play. Looks like Anna's going up for top side. Michael's looking to contest this Scuttle Crab, and Jonah is on his way to help make this play. Jonah does not have ultimate back up yet. Makes it tough to look for anything too much. Michael does pop his ultimate just in case the Darius tried to initiate anything. Does not want a repeat of the last time that they decided to fight Darius. Healy narrowly misses the hook onto Hong. Would have been quite bad for Hong if he was able to land that. And Avery is using his lead in this lane very well, zoning Michael off of the cannon minion. Hate to see it for Michael. Those cannons are very valuable. And Anne is starting the Rift Herald. Not sure if she's been picked up on Vision, but it is always possible. Yep, Healy's running very fast now, looking for a hook angle, but just is not able to find it. Oh, is able to hit it now, though. Hong gets knocked up, the Varus ulti comes down, and the Lucian and Nami ult go the other way. Healy flashes into the Lucian ult to try and remove some of the damage, but the play is just fizzled out. Hong positioned very well there and insta-cleansed the Varus ultimate, keeping himself alive. Very well played. Anne and Sarvis are looking to make a play here, do have the Rift Herald, but as soon as Anne looks to deploy the Rift Herald, Jonah capitalizes, dropping the Flag and Drag and the Cataclysm to hold Anne in place very close to the tower, and the Rift Herald does not even get the charge off. Michael making the heads-up play to roam from the top lane, flips Sarvis back into his team, and Sarvis pops the ulti, looks to get out, but there's just too much movement speed and damage. And then Hong gets hooked under tower, is maybe going to die here, ultimately does get picked up, and I am able to walk away from Kathy there.
I like that I am part.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like yesterday I just said like the champion name and that felt weird. So I don't know, maybe this is better. I just don't like casting my own games. It's like always a bit odd. Avery's looking for a fight here though. Michael is just in a really bad spot, just instantly gets popped. All the minions did get feared into the singed gas, which was kind of funny, and died. I mean, they died to Darius because, you know, he's the one that can damage them, but it looked funny. The next dragon is up. Looks like 4 members are there for Spectres and 3 members are there for the Rift Sharks. But Joel is popping the TP, and Michael is walking there from base. They are ceding some damage to the top side from Avery, but he decides to not continue to go for the play. Kathy gets engaged on with the Flag and Drag. Jonah gets knocked up. Healy's able to pull Kathy in, but in order to get damage, I have to walk up into the Lucian ulti, so the play does just get diffused. Anne is running in 1v4, gets singed flipped into the tower, and he does fall to the Varus. Hong then dashes in, gets a kill, and then immediately flashes out from the Cataclysm. Hong's reactions are insane, but not good enough to dodge Healy's hook, pulling him back into tower, and then singed flips yet another victim into this bot lane tier 1 tower. And then it looks like Jonah should just be able to pick up this dragon here. Joel's getting collapsed on in the mid lane. Sarvis could have a play here, but just does not have quite enough damage. Yeah, this dragon is warded by the Spectres, but Anna's pretty far away, so it's tough for her to really contest it. I do not believe Rift Sharks have knowledge of this ward. Blitzcrank and Varus are kind of walking around the side to try to help out with the dragon, but we could see another Anne 1v4 moment. I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not. Healy is playing very aggressively here, walking into the jungle, which does help, is able to support Joel from his attack by Sarverus, but ultimately there's just not a play here for either team. The Rift Sharks pick up the second dragon and are returning to base. I will say, I did not miss that cannon minion. I thought Healy was going to get it with his support item, and he did not. We had a full discussion about it. I am blameless in this scenario, certainly. I do not want to see any -1s in Twitch chat. Please do not. Oh, huge engage. Hong drops down very low, is able to dodge the Blitz Hook, and I just walk up, face tank the entire Lucian ultimate just to do a piercing arrow through him. Kathy falls down to almost 0 health, and I take a tower shot and die. Healy is tanking up the entire wave, looking to finish off that kill onto Kathy, but is ultimately not able to do it. And runs in, and Healy is able to get out just in time. Okay, Tower, Dean, inting. Okay, we will double check exactly how low health Kathy fell to. It looks like a 6 HP. 3 HP. And I'm the inter. My bad. Tragedy. Anyway, Joel is able to pick up the tower off the play, makes up for my death, hopefully. But Avery is getting a lot of work done here. Should just be able to pick up the top tower in trade. Riftshark's making a lot of plays near bot side, but is not able to counter the onslaught from Avery in the top side.
Yep, and there's a massive Darius going on still though, and so with the leads going the ways they are, Darius, I mean, top lane versus ADC, we know how that goes. So depending on if Darius can get in there while Varus does have ultimate or summoners up, could be very hard for Varus to pop off if the team fight is played out properly.
Yeah, I mean, the other person that I'd like to point out here is Jonah is 3-1-5. Is going for a very fun Jarvan build here, has the Iceborne Gauntlet, and is building towards what I believe to be a Titanic Hydra. So fun stuff there, and is really able to slow down Darius with the Iceborne Gauntlet. So it could make that engage tougher.
100%, you are correct. Okay, so I just opened a chest, and I got a Gun Goddess Misfortune.
Oh, yo, that's awesome.
Let's go.
Yep. 4-man mid from the side of the Spectres. Do not have a Rift Herald to push this in, and Joel's able to just neutralize the entire wave, stopping their push. Joel's had insane W's from Ziggs here. Able to get a lot done. And it looks like the Rift Sharks are just going to take the Rift Herald here. Part of their namesake. Avery debates on whether or not he wants to contest it, just drops a control word over the wall, and decides better not to. The Rift Sharks are walking down towards mid for a play. We will see what happens.
Ooh. Healy waited that hook out for so long. Got everything before he used it. Love to see it.
Yeah,
run, Kathy, run.
The Spectre's bot lane did not survive very long in that fight.
No, that is a fish out of water.
Yeah, and Healy played that super well. Waited everything out, as you said, and then nice flash hook on the Blitzcrank. I believe the Rift Herald is still in Jonah's inventory. Just gets dropped right there, and this could be a huge mid push. Avery is still getting work done on the top side, looking to get the tier 2 tower. We will see how this push ends up, though. The Herald is still going. It might make it to the Nexus tower. And it does, almost one-shotting it. The second Herald buffs are huge.
Yes, it makes it so much more valuable.
Yeah. And Michael just doing Singe things makes it very hard for Sarvis to trade into him. He's just too fast. And
Avery
Sarvis
is still splitting, though.
Yeah.
It's about to be an inhib for an inhib trade out of this. That's insane.
Yeah, pings are coming out. It looks like the Spectres are going to try to kill the Rift Sharks bot lane on the end of it. Hong drops super low, but it is a 80 carry for 80 carry trade in the end. The shutdown going over to the Nami. And now Joel's in trouble, but is able to use the W to get himself out. And it's another 1-for-1. Kathy being the beneficiary of the kill yet again. And the third Drake of the game is spawning imminently. Jonah just got back into the game. And Anne will be out of the game for 20 seconds.
Ghost being popped by the Darius, coming in here, dropping the hemorrhage, getting the stacks on there, going for the dash, popping the ultimate, getting super low. Kathy is trying to stall out this dragon, not let them start it right away, and she is going to die for that. But honestly, might have given just enough time. No, they got to clear the mid wave. Singe is trying to just clear the top lane. Darius did already get what he came here for though, and got that inhib, and that was actually the good thing that the Spectres did there with the trading ADC for ADC. It also stopped the backs, so it was favorable for the Darius to do what he did. Oh, tries going for the steal, ults back out, says I don't want this fight. Hong has other ideas.
W's this game are insane, man. I feel like every time the camera goes to Joel, he's just Wing someone in like the worst way for them possible. It's so fun to watch.
Oof.
Yeah, that play was tough. They all walked right into the chains of corruption. Very tough to deal with. The Varus ultimate does spread to other team members as soon as one is hit, so if you're all clumped up and aren't able to get away, things are pretty doomed, and Jonah followed up very well with the Cataclysm, trapping the remaining members. With the follow-up from the Singed, dropping the sticky goop in the center of the Cataclysm just as we planned in draft, preventing them from being able to escape. Now it is going to be Joel and Kathy 1v1ing in base. Joel actually proves me wrong with the W's himself directly into a Nami Q. And Joel is just focusing on ending the game here. Kathy drops down very low, is picked up, and looking to kill them, but the focus on the Nexus was just too strong. And the Rift Sharks are able to pick up the fastest win of the tournament so far against the previously undefeated Spectres at 21 minutes and 11 seconds.
Yes, beautiful performance. I even think from the Spectres, even though they had some bad team fights and stuff, there was a lot of plays that they were making around the map to try and mitigate their losses on gold and fall more and more behind, especially with the Darius getting the split pushing in. Definitely a good game from both teams. But there can only be one that moves on to faces the masked Valorant Pirates. We're sorry, but maybe next time.
All right, I am going to drag Anne in here for an interview.
I love Anne.
Me too. I was just at their house. Very crazy.
Oh, nice. We were just saying we
the
love you,
IRL gank.
I
All
got
right.
ganked.
Are we doing chems?
I'm gonna say no to my camera, unfortunately.
I'll put
Valor?
mine on. Just hold on 2 seconds.
Yo, let's
Get my
go.
shirt on.
I don't know why OBS is being so picky about this. We are just going to get me twice for now until Valor hops on here. But and same questions that we've asked to the other team members and captains so far today. What do you have to say about how the tournament is, and how will your team kind of change or stay the same going into the rest of the season?
So last game was the only one we lost, actually. So I'm feeling pretty good on the whole. I think we played through bot lane and it worked. There was one game that playing through bot lane did not work, and we lost that game. So I think
Yeah, I should have whipped out the Sharpie and done like the bot gap, you know?
honestly, yes, very very much so. But like, I think me and Hong Baba need to be on the same page more often. We're often having either opposite ideas or like not calling each other off of plays that are bad, but we're going for them anyways. That was, the one thing that I think we should work on, that I remember from the games.
I
But
understand that.
with especially Avery's performance, how he got better over the tournament, going better, going longer, getting more comfortable with the way that we were playing, and Sararis like totally outperforming all expectations. I'm really happy with my team. I think we're busted. I think we're crazy. I
Okay,
think,
but you're not one of the Busters teams, so can you really say that? Like,
you're right. We're gonna lose every game, actually.
I'm so glad that there's not like a Busters team and we don't have 6 Busters teams. That would be fucking awful. That'd be terrible.
I'm glad the season that we had, the consistent theming was like
I think Kittens was a pretty good one, and
I'm glad it's
I will
not.
say I'm
glad it's not
happy.
happening for
I will say
the
I'm happy
permanent
that the
names, but
animal control went last. Like, was so funny, but
Yeah, that was the names were hilarious. I loved it.
yeah.
But it is nice to also see everybody try and pull up some names for a kind of like a franchise, more look, a little more. I don't want to say professional because of course, but on the same hand, yeah, it's professional.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, someone
but no,
commissioned art, so like
yeah,
realistically,
True.
100%.
true. But yeah, no,
I commissioned
I'm
Dean.
really happy with how
Oh, I didn't pay
the
for it.
logos turned out. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I feel like I made like 4 of them, but
I like mine.
yeah.
I think ours is obviously I'm biased, but I think ours is the best.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I am.
I'm definitely excited after seeing that match and also have already played against you guys. I think that a lot of the teams, I can't see a single team right now that looks like they're going to just have a blowout and a bad season. I think everybody's going to put up a fight, and adding in the drafts along with um, being able to everybody learn a little more, as you said, how you guys have some like the play calling being a little bit off because that was something in Silicats that Silico and I face. We've been competitive gamers together in years on tons of different games, and we always have very two different opinions about what we should be doing. And so I understand that, but seeing the performance every game, including that one, even though you guys lost, there were so many decisions that did happen that you guys look like a very strong team. And being a decider for this tournament and just a best of one series doesn't like put anything out there that's like, hey, these guys are worse or these guys are better. Like this could have been anybody's tournament, and to see that performance still was mind blowing to me. Everybody's improved so much from last season too. From even just the scrim games I've played and from signups and the matches I've played so far, watching everybody play in their roles and the way they've been adapting to the new season, it's just amazing to see. So congratulations to you guys again for just looking so strong. I'm serious.
I'm
I
really
was
happy
scared
with
of your
the
roster.
I'm really happy with the quality of play this season. I think every team is everybody's playing really well. All the teams are looking like teams.
Mhm.
And I mean, well, you know what I mean. Like they're playing
Yeah.
together. It doesn't like
I
there's
didn't think it was
I was-
funny until there was silence for a little bit afterwards. But I was like,
I was
okay,
trying
that's a
to
little
follow
bit
up with it.
goofy.
I was like, well,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, yeah, you would hope so.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy with a lot of the signups have kind of felt a little bit like solo queue games. Like not everybody has like coherent idea of what they want to do, but it feels like every team has really come in with like game plans and have started to figure out what their team identity is. And it's really fun.
I agree totally.
Happy to have that so early in the season.
Yeah,
And
two things real
fingers
quick
crossed
as we
we'll
end the
get
interview.
even better.
Last weekend of signups before the season starts. We will continue to run signups Monday through Wednesday, but if you really like playing on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, these are the last 3 days.
Everybody get in there.
Links are in the
I think
signups channel on the server.
Sunday?
Make sure to sign up. I have no clue how many people have signed up. I just haven't checked. My bad. But if you're looking to play on the weekend, without it being the team format, go ahead and sign up. And then the other thing is, Valor did mention that none of the teams really look like they're underperforming to a drastic degree. I think there were some games that were blowouts, but I think those are mostly just blind pick being blind pick.
Yeah, that's blind. That's blind.
Right. I mean, I think the format's fun. It's something we get to see. We get to see a lot of champions and combinations that we'd never see during the regular season. Especially with some of the cross-team subbing, I think was pretty interesting. I know the Spectres had Caesarius play to help out, I believe it was Andromeda at the end. So hopefully we'll get to see Caesarius play on the Spectres at some point pretty soon. Could be fun. And I think the kind of swapping between Rex and Hangbaba for the Spectres throughout the tournament was something I really enjoyed watching as well. Both have
I think
their
you're
own
going to see
playstyle.
a lot more of that throughout the season. That is our plan. We've got 2 superstar ADCs, and you should be scared.
All right, and I am instilled in fear for
Yeah.
this.
I'm just not excited to see a Mason Jr.
He is our coach.
Yeah. When you picked Udyr against us in the blind, it was the first game we played. I was just I was like sitting there when we were talking, like, okay, what do they think they're gonna pick? And I'm like, and she definitely plays Kane. Like, I did not. I was like throwing everything out there. I'm like, I can't for the life of me. And then Udyr popped up, and I'm like, wait, what? And then today I was reminded that you guys have Mason coaching, and I'm like, great, this is not gonna be fun.
I am Mason's disciple.
Church of Mason, Church of Mason.
Does that mean I have
Church
to
of
follow
Mason,
the
Church
same
of
law
Mason.
where I
I've
don't
been
like to ban Udyr against
experimenting with
Mason?
the Dark Silas technology.
Mhm.
It's not that good anymore, I don't think, but
No, I think
it was fun.
Yeah, it was relevant for a second, but
Yeah.
keep my boy
nerfs.
mid. Keep my boy
So
mid.
sad, so sad. Well, Silas Jungle's still good. It's just you can't go the dark
Yeah.
technology of demonic Jack Show.
Yeah, the Jack
Jungle
Show
Warrior.
doesn't work as much on the mage like fighters
Well,
now. It's
nobody except Mason was doing it, but you know,
it's the sad days that we have
it's
to move forward.
It's yeah. You know, looking to the
This
future.
is why we have the Maokai sapling.
Oh, that's
Because
awesome.
Maokai isn't going anywhere.
I've got a little Rise on my desk. If y'all aren't careful, you might see the Rise jungle pop out. Who knows?
Ooh, that'd be interesting. Hold on. Are you subbing for Meta Busters? What's going on here?
No, it's okay. So here's the thing, right? If you look at the stats, Rise jungle is. Oh no, I'm undefeated in norms. I lost in. Oh yeah, this was a late season Janley game. We don't need to talk about it actually. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Don't look at the stats.
All right, not looking at stats.
All right.
Don't look at stats.
Yeah, we should hop into finals real quick. Just one
I
more
can't be
thing.
here for that. I have to go to bed.
Oh, good night.
Oh no! I thought you were doing finals tomorrow.
No.
Why, Deeb? No, Deeb.
That's unfortunate.
Okay, I feel like we did not need to stretch this across 5 days of streaming, but maybe.
But we do.
It's an
No,
L
I'm just
take.
kidding. I understand because we have the signups tomorrow.
This
So
also
gotta be
has
the
been
focus.
taking up my entire evening for the
Yeah.
entire week. So I am
yeah,
like,
but you know what? We
we
love and
appreciate
share.
I'm
Usually-
enjoying it, but I would like it to end soon. I literally just moved here Monday, so I haven't really had time to unpack. There's a huge box of stuff on my bed and on the table right next to me. So, all right, I'm looking to close that up soon. The bracket is updated. The finals, Valor MVP for the subscription. Thank you so much.
Ayo,
The
4 months
Prime
retro.
sub. All right.
I always have to
and-
remember I have to renew by Prime. It doesn't renew itself.
Yeah. So if anyone else has Prime subs, all the proceeds that we get from that do go towards the charity. There are 2 charities remaining. With the elimination of Spectres, Food Not Bombs is eliminated, and the elimination of Metabusters, the Brain and Behavior Foundation is also eliminated. So the 2 final charities that are being played for in the finals are the Ocean Defenders Alliance, which focuses on removing fishing-related debris in the oceans, and Vet Ranch, which focuses on saving animals who would otherwise be euthanized onto a ranch. Very good causes for both of them, both focused on animals. So whichever team wins will be determining the beneficiary of all the money that we've received so far. And a reminder, since this is a charity stream, all donations that we receive on our card in the about section of the Twitch will go towards it, as well as any income that we get through subs. Right, and it looks like I missed one gifted sub as well, so I'm going to go ahead and update that. Alright, so donations should be good. Would be cool if we could hit like $300 by the end of the day. Just saying. We're just over $50 away from it. And if you donate $25 or more, you get what we like to call the Rise surprise. So could be fun. And on that note, we are going to head into draft for the final game. If anyone else wants to help cast this game, that would be appreciated, as I think Valor does need to go to bed. So
Do I toughen it out?
up to you. Up to you. It would be nice having input from a player who isn't in it.
All right, I'll stay.
Let's
you know
go.
What? Hold my leg. I'll
Valor
stay.
finals cast.
I know
Huge.
people miss my voice. No, I'm just
All
kidding.
right.
You're like, all right. Are we not on camera? Can I put my? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
we're gone.
All right.
All
I'm
right.
going to keep my camera on because I like the light, but
Fair. All right. Hold on 1 second. I just tried to close my camera, and my Discord
here.
has
Thanks for that.
crashed. Thank you, Discord.
And told me all of your darkest secrets.
Ah,
Yep.
damn.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, good thing they weren't leaked to the
Been
stream. That's
exposed.
all I gotta say. Okay. Anyway, heading into draft, we have the Rift Sharks. The Valorant Pirates chose red side. Michael, again, first picking the Ziggs. Valor was saying we have to see the Xerath ban, but it looks like his team, without him, did not ban the Xerath.
I'm telling you, no, like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
saying it. I'm saying it. I've said it before. I've played. Joel and I have had so many matchups against each other in signups in season. I do not like to go against his Xerath.
I don't think anyone does.
I have good champions that can do good into it. It's not that it's like I can't play something that's good against it. It's he's so good at mitigating what is a counter pick is against him on Xerath. And when he gets to that late game, there's nothing fun about watching someone get deleted for free. There's nothing fun about it.
Very true. And we are looking at a Maokai Xayah locked in. Both these champions did very well for the Valorant Pirates in the semifinal game. Which
And the karma.
Right. Well, that gets locked in after the Braum Sivir gets locked in to counter the Xayah. Going in for a scaling advantage, and the Braum is able to block Xayah feathers, which can be very helpful in team fights. But the Karma is locked in to kind of counter it. A very tough early matchup, which prevents the Rift Sharks from having as easy of a early laning phase as they did last time. Because Lucian Nami is pretty threatening, but the Blitzcrank kind of mitigates it, and Braum has a strong early game, but more so in the invade sense and less like direct pressure because he does not have the Blitzcrank hook. Mordekaiser and Kane are banned both against Jonah, I believe, and Set and Jace are banned against Heroic. The Irelia is locked in to counter the Ziggs, which is responded to with a Diana and a Singed, running back something similar to what we did in the previous game. And then the Singed is countered not by Darius this time, even though Heroic just played it, but by Alawi. So we will have to see how that matchup goes. It's a bit of a different matchup. I believe it is a bit harder for Singed than the Darius matchup is.
I just read Jackson's a tough it out team leader in the chat. Sticking it through. So this draft, first off, I'd like to put out there. MVP is all running champs that they just showed they did spectacular on in their previous game. The top 3 picks at least. I know that with the Morgana and Samira taken off the table, Sivir Braum are actually a really good utility with good frontline and getting Braum to hold off the fights and what Karma and Xayah are going to pull out. Also the Irelia, because it can definitely stop Irelia from performing if the wall is used properly. It's just Braum is actually a really strong pick here, and I like seeing that. The Diana gonna be a great skirmisher. There's definitely a few good people she's gonna love trying to get into a fight with. Ziggs is such a comfortable pick, as we saw in the last game. Joel is known for being, if it's not Xerath, it's definitely Ziggs. And I've seen that matchup many times, and he's very, very good at not only wave management, but getting the pushes that they need, the siege on all the turrets they need to get. So, but last but not least, I don't want to forget the Irelia. Very, very high mechanical champion that can kind of 1v9 or can feed like crazy. Kind of like a Yasuo, but in my opinion, harder in mechanics-wise on Steve, and I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah, I think it should be a good one, and we can actually just hop directly into game once it shows up. Here we go. We are on the Rift for the finals matchup between the Rift Sharks and the Mass Valorant Pirates. Winner takes all for their charity. So it will either be going to Vet Ranch or the Ocean Defenders Alliance. Just a reminder, to support the charities, you can either subscribe with any tier, and the proceeds will go to charity, or you can click the donation link on the About page of our Twitch channel. We are hoping to try to get to $300 in total. We're at $246.75 right now. So just a little bit more. Be huge to see big 300 donated to the charity that ultimately does win the tournament. And Garrett's flash is burned very early. Aggressive early play from the Sivir and Braum, able to use that Braum passive strength at level 1. In my opinion, strongest level 1 in the game for invades. But Garrett does just burn the flash to make sure that he lives through it.
Not gonna let the proxy happen, are we? Interesting. James walks over a ward there, so it looks like Alawi knows that she can go into lane. He's not waiting for her to walk away, so he can proxy. She did wait out the lane to get it in, which is nice. Looks like both junglers are going to be starting on the bot side here. Yeah, not much to be some level 1 trading. Irelia is going to get poked out for a little bit by the Ziggs until she can get a couple abilities, so she can maybe try and get on him. Heroic's opening up with some good trades, getting the lane kind of pushing, trying to get that level 2. Could be a massive advantage into Singed. And we're getting another 400 CS hack.
Yeah, I decided I'd try and get us halfway there. Such a good effect. Again, thank you to Cam and Stanley for the inspiration for that. So we are now at 271, puts us only about 28-25 away from our $300 goal for the end of the day. Just a reminder, if you do want to donate after the stream ends, we will be accepting donations through that link up until the end of the day on Sunday. I will be donating Monday morning or after Monday after my work. So if you're a bit late to it, or if you're watching this on YouTube and it's not quite yet Sunday, you are still able to donate. But yes, any contributions would be greatly appreciated. Just like the contributions to Singe's bank account when he takes the Alawi tentacles. You think about it that way.
Yeah, that was a good PayPal transaction, I'm assuming. Definitely some good trades coming out of the Alawi here. Even after taking a turret shot earlier, managed to put herself back in the healthy condition here. The CS difference in mid lane and top lane are looking kind of crazy right now. Kind of falling apart. Ziggs struggling with the amount of pressure that level 3 and above Irelia gives. Diana's coming up for the gank top. Did that Q miss? It looked like it, but the auto attacks with red buff are pretty strong.
God! The
Yeah,
Q does so much damage.
Heroic getting the double Q and W with passive tentacles slapping on top is just so much damage, and the healing that Heroic was not going to fall down to just a level 4 red buff Diana. Back over to the mid lane. Both laners both have decent amount of mana if they want to get into a little bit of a tussle. Looks like the Irelia is getting denied a little more CS now, and Ziggs catching up, going in for the stun here, hitting it, getting the lockdown. Maokai's there, getting the flash forward. C4 charge puts Ziggs kind of in a nasty spot, and ignited, and Handsome is just gonna take that. That was actually a great play. I think that getting that stun off and Maokai instantly knowing flash W, get in there right away, keep that CC locked up a little bit longer. Definitely a good play overall for MVPs.
Yeah, I mean, Joel's only way out of that play is to hit the W early and get himself back to tower. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to do it. When the W did get off, it knocked him in the exact wrong direction. Really not what you want to see. Jackson's looking to make another play on the side of the map, on the other side of the map, but Aya's doing a very good job of getting poked down, and these saplings just do so much damage. Jonah goes in, gets the stun. Jackson's falling down low, and he might fall. Knocks me into the wall, and now Aya's falling down low, gets stunned. And that is another kill picked up for the Diana. 2 kills at 5 minutes to start off this game.
Like it's going to be those 2 kills is also going to give them the prio they need to take that dragon. Irelia is still coming back to mid, while Ziggs is pushed up to turret. So Irelia can't go over there and try and make anything happen. And ABC definitely just needs to back there and not risk it. Going and trading instantly back onto the Ziggs, putting the damage out, getting back on top, burning the flash finally, getting that summoner off. Heroic's just getting thrown back under turret there, but did not have any aggro at the time.
Yeah, Heroic is level 6 already, and so are Ziggs and Irelia, which could be big if a fight breaks out here. Irelia comes in, flash, ulti, Healy falls down low, flashes out over the wall, and same with the Sivir. And it looks like the entirety of the Rift Sharks is just going to survive here, but that's like 3 flashes burned in the span of like a minute.
Yeah, 3 flashes for a flash from the mid laner, ignite for the support. Walking away with Dragon. I mean, at this point, you just know the tempo's there. You don't need to focus on anything else right now. Rift Herald might be something I don't know if I'd want to take a fight if I was the Rift Sharks right now, just because of all the summoners being down. Kind of makes it a little bit harder to engage. You know, early summoner spells are clutch moments in these kind of games, so we will see from the trades here. Oh, really getting
Joel
back in
is
there.
just
And
doomed
Aya
again.
follows that. Ugh. That roam, too, to just confirm the amount of damage they needed. Popping the Mantra right on Ziggs, just lowering him just enough to make sure Irelia could finish him. Oof.
Yeah, there's solo lane dominance here from the Mass Valorant Pirates. Alawi is up 35 CS and a kill, and Irelia is only up 2 CS, but 2 kills, which is very much not what you want to see if you want to support the Ocean Defenders Alliance.
Yeah, seeing the roams here too, the consistency from Aya making herself present around the map, but also with Garrett just like not feeding off of that and not like pushing himself too far. I like it. Oh,
thank you, Han Solo donation hack, 400 CS and $30. Huge. We have reached our goal of $300, but the more the better as usual. But thank you so much for the 30. Love to see it.
What a beautiful, beautiful thing you got going on here. This is amazing.
Can't believe Han Solo himself has donated to us.
I know. I didn't even know that man knew of the channel.
Yeah. Could it be Harrison Ford himself? Probably not.
Yeah. Ooh, yo, dude, beautiful spell shield there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Healy's dead.
Dude, beautiful spell shield though. Come on now, that was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, and Jonah goes in. Flash gets 2 flashes in return. Both of the bot lane flashes for the Valorant Pirates are burned out. And now Steve's going in. Is going to pick me up. Wish I had had my spell shield for that.
Uh-oh. Oh, they're very healthy. Ooh. I don't like this. Jonah.
Yeah, Garrett and Aya flashed in unison to counter that Diana ultimate, which takes so much out of the Diana there. A very tough situation. Yeah, this game is looking pretty good for the Valorant Pirates. They're up about 2,500 gold. Huge advantage in the mid lane. And Braum does have the capability to stop Irelia, but it does take 4 auto attacks for her to get stunned up across the team. So if she's fed enough, it might not matter.
That was such a good C4 too. Didn't focus on getting the Maokai away because he knew the Maokai just had the gap closer, but just got the Irelia out. It's just so much CC from that Maokai. You're not going to get far. Gonna get some plates here. Like to see it. Like to see it. Get a little more gold back into the pockets of the Rift Sharks. I mean, I hate to see it, but we love to see it.
Thank you for the follow, Han Solo 96.
Oh, and oh my gosh. Oh, it's Harrison Ford herself.
Oh, Jackson donation hack, 400 CS and $25 from Jackson. Thank you very much.
Gosh. You guys are all beautiful.
Oh, and Heroic gets ulted into tower, and that's another kill going over to Jonah. Killing spree for the Diana. Has 3 kills, but unfortunately is the only member of the Rift Sharks to have any kills.
Can I just say, I love Jonah's ganking. I love it. Seems like he always has some pretty decent knowledge on where to be for ganks. He sees the pressure, knows how to get over there. It's just, oof. Love it. Gotta love seeing that. Looks like some plates gonna be coming back over. MVPs are gonna, now that they know that jungler was top side, they're like, okay, we can push up, get a couple plates here. Looks like
Oh
we're
my
gonna play
God.
again. Oh my god. Okay.
He does die for it. That's a 700 bounty over to Ziggs, but that play was hype as hell. You cannot fault Steve for going for that.
And so I won't, because I see red and do the same, but he did make a misplay. I don't know if you saw it.
I did not.
He triggered his E and then ulted before putting his first Q in.
Oh, gotcha.
He missed. He could have gotten 3 Qs to get the kill, and I don't know if that would have made him survive.
I don't think so.
But you know, we can always play the game.
Jonah with a really good dragon
secure
secure there.
Yeah, we're covering for the Tracer of the Dragon. Looks like the team fight is going to be happening. There is some flashes over there. Looks like Diana, though, does not have one of those flashes, putting the damage back in, trying to get Aya cleaned up. Aya walks away, though. A little bit of health left. Looks like Dean has not given in. No, Dean! Braum going in for the Q. Gets the slow on to that Aya, but nope. Zaya's full health. That's a dangerous Zaya right now. But,
Yeah, Garrett's Zaya today is just nuts. So fun to watch. Yeah, as you were saying earlier, sad that he is on the bench. SMH.
It's so sad. There's so many great players that I know they're gonna get screen time. I know they're gonna get game time in, but man, would they have been amazing to see on a roster. Even Steve, like Steve's on MVP. He's an
he is a
actual
starter.
player of ours.
He is a starter.
Technically. But we're not gonna get into all this. But knowing the fact that he will not be getting as much game time, that man, in my opinion, is so good. Like, he can play things like Irelia and actually play it to its mechanical abilities. And I know that he could have been a potential starter in a lot of roles, because actually mid is not his main role.
Yeah, I mean, great play this game. Kind of taking over the game. Fed Irelia is not something you want to deal with. These items could lead to Merc Treads, or we could see the beginning of a Jack show. That item is super cringe. I hope we don't see it, but could be the case. But yeah, I think it is tough that there are only so many starter spots, and we have so many good players at the server, but I think it just...
it's just going to keep getting better. Eventually,
Heroic just Hex Gates out of the Rift Shark's base into the jungle.
He's like, what's up?
Oh
I love
my god. Yeah, this is just solo lane dominance from the Valorant Pirates here. Such good gameplay. And Healy's trying to peel Garrett off this play, but Jackson's going in on both of them. Might just have enough damage to seal the deal. This time I do not have a spell shoot for it. Garrett flashes in to pick up the double kill.
Beautiful play on Zaya there, following that up and just flashing forward to get the E off on 2 opponents at once, getting through the Braum. Love to see it. Gonna be dropping the mid turret here. Good to see a tier 1 finally fall in other spots other than top lane. That's... wow.
Yeah, so surprisingly the gold in mid lane is actually pretty close. Ziggs has been able to pick up some towers across the map. Is only about 700 gold down. But if you look up on the top side, the gold difference is 3.6 thousand gold.
Yeah, the denial
disgusting.
that Alawi does to that Singed is just... it's things that shouldn't be allowed, but then again, Singed shouldn't be allowed, so, you know, it's only fair.
Yeah, so it's about... averages out to about 1,000 gold lead in all the other positions, but the top lane is an absolute canyon. The Alawi counterpicking to the Singed, very heads-up play. I feel like Alawi doesn't get a lot of credit in organized play, but honestly, both Alana and Heroic putting on a really good showing for it in this tournament. So, could be something we see more of throughout the season, or it could just be a Frostbite special. I'm excited to see how it goes.
I think if anybody could take anything away from Heroic and Alana playing the Alawi now and actually seeing how strong it could be into certain matchups, I think it would be something that people should consider picking up.
Yep.
Because Singed is a well-known, that we do see Singed. Ooh, beautiful pick off by the Diana falling there. That jungler and mid laners are moving around together. It's just, and Aya's right there. They're getting some poke over here. Braum's looking for the ultimate. Does hit the Zaya. Zaya does dash away. Pops the ult just in case. and it's going to walk away from that one.
Yeah, I did not realize that's how the Karma interaction works with the Spell Shield. If you Spell Shield after you've already gotten tethered, it does not prevent you from getting rooted, which I found out at that moment. I was not very happy. I am able to pick up a kill onto Jackson here. Healy falls down low, and the Aurelia is just going to make short work of our team. Aya falls down low, so does Garrett, but the severe damage is not enough to take either of them down. And that is a 2-for-1 in favor of the Valorant Pirates, and they are walking down to try to pick up this Hextech Dragon.
Heroic's just applying like so much pressure on all the lanes. He went mid, helped with the first tower there, went bot, started pushing these turrets. He's taking this nasty lead he's been, I don't want to say given, he worked hard for it, but the lead he has, and just applying it everywhere that can be, and just forcing people to come deal with him. And if they don't, he's going to push to 2 Nexus by himself on these side lanes.
I think what's ludicrous is he is up like over 1,000 gold on anyone else in the game, and he only has 150 gold shutdown. Very
small indie company.
Very frustrating.
Small indie company.
Yeah, I flash. He does not die. This is a trend in the elimination games. Healy flashes into the wall. Honestly, staying on this side of the wall might have been better because on the other side of the wall was the Irelia. Joel flashes, but it's not going to do anything against Maokai, and he does fall. This is a 3-for-1. They're able to pick up Aya, but not able to pick up anything else. Just out of frustration, I am going to check how low this Alawi did fall during the fight.
Instead of frustration. All right, so goes forward.
28.
Gets the shield. Gets the shield. That shield from Aya. Back it up one more time. I gotta see that shield again. Oh, I gotta see that shield again. Oh, give me a support like this every day of the week. Didn't even pop that shield until she knew she had to. Oh my gosh.
Pain.
Wow.
I flash forward for kills, 6 HP and 28 HP. It's like so painful. My least favorite.
Oh
my
sorry.
god. Oh well. And Michael is just trying to get scrapings of CS here, and the 4,000 plus gold lead Alawi with 150 gold shutdown comes and ruins his day. He now immediately has to back, and Steve is getting some work done on the bot side of the map. Both solo laners are just so strong here. Both of them above 8,500 gold, 7 kill Irelia at 17 minutes. Irelia has as many kills as the entirety of Rift Sharks combined. This is just a brutal game for them. Well fought by both these teams to reach the semis, but it looks like Valorant Pirates might end up clinching the championship here. Like basically a 12,000 gold lead here. The Rift Sharks need a miracle to flip it. But that miracle could very well happen. Diana ultimate is available. Same with the Braum ultimate if they're able to corral them. Huge play could come out, and if you're able to flip an objective off of that, it could be insane. There aren't any up for a couple minutes. We will see the Baron as the first one to spawn there because the Dragon has a bit of time left on it.
So if you were Rift Sharks, right? And we both know you're not. If you were Rift Sharks, what do you think gets you back into this game right now?
A very lucky team fight. If you're able to catch out like Xayah or Karma on a side lane, because you're not realistically going to be able to turn a fight onto an Alawi or an Irelia, that should get you something. But Valorant Pirates has been doing a really good job of keeping those two champions together and always have them near one of the other three bruisers. So Maokai, Irelia, or Alawi has always kind of been pocketing them. But if there is an opportunity and Rift Sharks is able to collapse on it, being able to have a team fight without the Karma or without the Xayah could be enough for them to turn a fight. They definitely want to flip on Baron. It would have way more impact than Hextech Drake. It could get them Soul Point, but you do want that immediate impact, and then you could use the Baron buff to kind of secure the Soul Point for yourself later.
I got you.
If Singed and Braum are able to play around the Irelia well in the team fight, it could be huge. And actually, Alawi W, I believe, is also a dash, so it's prevented by Singed as well. So if they're able to play around those two champions correctly, It could be pretty huge. Singe's Field also prevents Maokai from popping the W, but Maokai does just drop an ult here in the mid lane, snaring both of the damage carries from Rift Sharks. Joel is going to fall, and Jackson is just so fast. I guess it's Phase Rush plus the Blue Smite. And he's able to just get himself out of there. A few autos from Sivir would have been able to take him down, but he just gets out of there before he's able to fall, and that's another kill picked up for Mass Valorant Pirates. It looks like they're just going to siege mid-turret. I'm not sure there's anything Healy can do here, and that's a turret picked up for Garrett. Now has about 500 gold in his advantage. All these lanes are just super far ahead for the Valorant Pirates. But it looks like Steve could be in trouble here. It is a 4v1. He's able to pick up 1 kill. He might be able to pick up 2. Healy's dropping really low, gets knocked up in the air. Is able to pick up a 2nd kill onto Healy, stays alive for so long. The Jack show is ridiculous. And I think that play could just seal their fate. They look to get a pick out, but the Irelia is just able to outplay and pick up the entire bot lane of the Rift Sharks. And the Xayah, Maokai, Karma are all up top to secure the Rift, not the Rift Herald, the Baron. The Dragon is up, so there could be a play to try and trade objectives. Securing Soul Point in exchange for Baron isn't a terrible call, but it looks like Mass Valorant Pirates are just going to prevent the Soul Point, and I don't think the Rift Sharks have enough damage to take Baron here.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard toss-up now, and even showing the strength of trying to even just take one opponent on comes with some consequences. But I mean, I guess it depends on who you face, but it's such a struggle. Falling behind like this. Beautiful matchups.
Teleport is coming in mid lane with Alawi. Could be looking to start a play or just add some pressure.
During this time, though, they are going to slowly take that dragon. There is a ward, though. They do know that the Maokai is on it. And looks like Jonah's going to be starting to run over there looking for something. Uh-oh. I don't know if that's what we were looking for. I don't know if that's the one. That might not be the one. We're going for the sacrificial. Maokai says, okay, you can leave. That's what you want. Oh, both camps reset on Maokai. Sadly.
Yeah, and Heroic is looking for a kill onto the Braum. Looks like he might have gotten out. Has to play the minigame now. I'm looking to deal some damage into the team. Sivir with 2 items does some damage, but not enough. They will luckily change that on the next patch, allowing you to buy IE's second.
Just want to say, does Sivir W give attack speed?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, then definitely an IE second item. I can't wait for that patch.
Yes, it'll help my role. Healy, unfortunately, is not able to find anyone with that ulti here. And Heroic managed to hit a max range Alawi tentacle, forcing the Sivir back into base. Garrett gets hit by a Braum Q and then immediately flashes over the wall, not looking to get stunned up there. But yeah, the Valorant Pirates are in a very dominant position here, have about 12k gold up on the Rift Sharks. And Heroic is just going to take a base here. Not sure if he's going to be able to buy a full item or not. He is sitting on only 800 gold. So just back in to get his resources replenished. Does have the Hull Breaker, the Black Cleaver, and the Divine Sunderer. And Steve is behind. Rift Sharks does not see him, engages onto Jonah and Dean, is able to just pick up a free kill onto the Sivir. Jonah is rooted. Great snare by Jackson to follow up on the Irelia flank. Garrett flashes in for the ultimate, and Irelia picks up a 2nd kill and is looking to end the game. Does not get the stun there. Singe goes in to try and slow him down, drops the poison, and might be able to defend the base here, but could be tough. Yeah, and Heroic is just running right for the towers, doing what Ziggs did to the Spectres in the previous game, just dealing so much damage. Heroic does have to flash to get out here. The Sivir is spawning in soon. Jackson falls super low, shutdown goes over to Ziggs, and Healy and I are running up here. Bot lane could be able to shove this out. Aya flashes the Braum ulti, but is going to get run down. The exhaust comes down to secure a kill for the bot lane, as the rest of the Rift Sharks are playing base defense here.
Yeah, so many things going wrong. The damage is starting to show. It's starting to show, and what is the play? Is it definitely take the Baron now on their reset, trying to get it to happen? It's a thought.
Yeah, with Hex Gates it's really hard though, because
Yeah,
Alawi's
that's
just going to get
true.
there super quickly.
Yeah, it was
And
a thought.
there's
It can't happen though.
yeah, and Alawi's teleport is up soon, so Rift Sharks can't get too far away from the base because Alawi can basically just like two-shot the Nexus.
Yep.
Narrowly avoids the test of will. I don't know, whatever.
No, Will wasn't in this game.
Oh, so true. Exactly. And yes, the Valorant Pirates are just going to burn down this Baron that the Rift Sharks were not able to take, or simply didn't attempt to. And they should be able to shove in this wave here to apply a lot of pressure on the base, if not just outright end the game. We'll give credit to Michael. He's able to mitigate some of the CS lead, or the CS disadvantage that he was at before. It's only 70 now.
So didn't he?
Yeah, 0 deaths.
Spoke too soon.
Yeah.
It's not looking good.
Now
No,
he is going to fall.
it's not looking
Really
good.
good engage by the
that was
Aurelia
bad
and the
timing.
Maokai.
That was bad timing. I apologize.
Yep. Jackson goes in. 5-man Diana ultimate. Full knockup by the Braum, but it's just not enough. Sivir was zoned out by the Alawi Tentacle, and this game is just going to be over. I'm attempting to get any kills here. Heroic walks in and doesn't even die. Like, that's another sub 100 health. Oh,
that's
my
also
God.
2 games of Garrett not dying on Xayah.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
playing super, super well. A shame he's
Wow.
not actually on your team, huh? Oh, wow.
I know. As if only there wasn't a point system stopping it.
True. I think N's team should be able to play Mason, Rex, and Hongmama all at the same time. That'd be super fun.
Fine. That just means I gotta ban a specific few champions.
Yeah, I'd drive to Hong's apartment and start kneecapping him at that point.
Okay,
Oh
you
my
do that when I play. I'll do that when you play.
Okay.
I have a way further drive.
True. All right, and this is the conclusion of the tournament. With Rift Sharks eliminated, that does mean that the charity that won is Vet Ranch. So if that was the charity that you're hoping for the whole time, and now that you know that the proceeds will be going to them, we will leave the stream up a bit longer. So if you decide to donate, it will pop up on stream. Valor, if you want to talk a little bit why you chose that charity in particular.
Well, it was actually it was a team discussion. I actually didn't put the input on which one. I left it to the team. We had a group chat about it. We came up with a couple, and we discussed. We looked over them. We had a few different ones we were looking at. We discussed over all of them, which ones we liked the most, and which one we thought really represented us. And I think all of us, and honestly, most everyone I know, are animal lovers, and it's sad to see the things that happen in this world these days, especially with a lot of the homeless pets out there and ones that'll be euthanized and all that kind of thing. That we thought that was something that we wanted to bring more to light and have people see a little more. Not just even if we fell out of the tournament. I think I speak for other people on this that we're interested in seeing some of these places we can donate to, and even probably looked up a couple on Google, like who are these guys and what do they mean, and to any of the viewers and stuff, definitely check these guys out. Even if you are tight on your wallet right now and you can't donate to this, there's times that we can, and we can help these kind of things, and a lot of these people stand for what exactly they show. I know there's been a lot of scams out there in the world that people are fearful about giving money to these people, but this kind of stuff, we do our research, and these are the kind of people we want to help to keep this light that still does exist in this world on helping these things like animals and other human beings and stuff like that with homes. So that was our go-to for that. We definitely we appreciate what they do, and we're hoping that even just every penny that we can send their way can just help out another animal.
Damn, I'm not gonna lie, you're making me tear up a little bit. Very, very emotional speech. I donated $2 for my 2 dogs. I'm glad that we were able to provide them a home. First dog was actually not a rescue. We got her from a farm, but our second dog is a rescue, and they are
Aw.
get along very well together. I'm gonna go hang out with them as soon as I end the stream. But yeah, do you want to just interview each other? Is that does that make the
Yeah,
most
sure.
most
Yeah,
sense?
no,
Okay.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
We'll start.
because
I'll start interviewing you.
all right,
You
here
did
I
you did
will.
take the L.
Yep. Sad. All right, here, let me stop the screen share real quick, and I will pop this out. And surely, OBS will actually let me do this time, right? Surely it won't show the wrong thing. Oh my god! No way! It actually worked. All right,
Did it?
I'm ready to be interviewed.
All right, Dean. As second best. No, I'm just kidding. How overall the whole tournament you got to play from beginning to end. You got to participate, and even I believe you did sub for a team.
Yes, I played my
day
first
one,
two
yes.
games in place of Blake. We actually didn't win any games, but
Okay.
I got to play Jarvan
Anyway,
support, so that's like a huge win in my book. I love it. It's so fun.
yes. Overall, starting with your team, do you like how you guys performed?
Yes, I feel like we played really well. I didn't get to participate in our one win in on Saturday. I actually did get to play with Michael all 3 games though, which was pretty fun. Big fan playing with Michael. We actually met playing on a league team together through our school. We were the Mad Tigers. Did not do very well. But I think we're just carrying that tradition onto the Nutbusters and onto our own team on Saturday, which has been unfortunate. But something that I do like for the Rift Sharks is that we were actually able to win. Our 3 games that we won all had completely separate lineups, which is pretty fun. Something that actually Kit and Grouping Service last season did was we had a bit of a flexible roster, so we were kind of able to adapt to our opponents and kind of flex in players in and out, which was able to kind of like mix it up, keep it fresh. And that's kind of something that we wanted to continue going for throughout this season. We are keeping, I believe, 5 of our 6 players from the previous season. And we're keeping that mentality of kind of swapping people in and out as we need to. I will say during this tournament, we weren't really making subs based on our opponents as much. It was just who's available, who's going to play. So we might see some more adaptation throughout the season of rosters specifically prepared to counter certain teams, which could be pretty fun. But I'm very happy with our performance. I think we could have been a little for funning it in that last game. We had a comp pretty similar to what we went for in semis and did not perform as well. So hopefully we'll see some more consistency throughout the season. But I think we were just trying to have a good time, so I don't think we're too torn up about it. And 2 of our losses were in blind picks, so can you really be too upset about it? I know
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty happy. And playing with Nutbusters was a great experience. Sad that we like actually fixed our subbing system, so we don't have shenanigans like we did back in season 1. But it was fun to get to play with another team, kind of slot in with a group of people that already get along pretty well, and kind of fit into that. And I'm just, again, really grateful that every team was able to provide extra players and communicate which slots that they did need so that we were able to get this tournament run pretty smoothly. Believe we only had some minor delays, nothing over an hour, which is always good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a great time playing in this tournament. Got to play a lot of champions I really enjoy. So very happy.
And you also said your changes, because as you said, you guys have a lot of your previous roster with the only major change is Jonah, the MVP from last season, coming over and taking over, who was your highest rated by point player, your jungler, taking over for that. So.
I will say Mason was offered a spot on the team and he declined. So we're gonna kick his ass, okay? Like, I know he's just a coach, but if there's one team that our team needs to beat all season, I don't care if we are in dead last place. If we have a win against Spectres, which, by the way, fastest win of the entire tournament against Spectres in semis. I don't know.
So
I'm a happy man.
We have the rivals for the Rift Sharks is the Spectres, the people they want to make sure do not take a win over them throughout the season. I'm gonna make sure we tune into those matches. Yeah. I'm casting that.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. I mean, second place in a tournament that played with a lot of fun and everybody getting a little bit of a small field. I wouldn't say it was a big field because of the fact that there was a lot of subs and changes.
Yep.
And once again, thank you to everyone who could fill in slots. I know there was even on our team, we had a very big last minute change on day 2 that we did not know was going to happen. And we had to put Steve in and then Garrett coming over from Metabusters to come help us out, which was amazing. And he represented what we're about and taking those victories very well too. But overall, for the teams you played against, is there any of the teams so far that you're like, this team is going to be someone we really have to like prep against?
Well, I think your team, obviously, you beat us.
But okay, take away the one that you lost to.
I mean, I think by expectations going into the tournament, we're pretty much accurate. I think Andromeda is particularly scary, especially with what Alana was saying earlier. There's so much flex potential. Anyone could go anywhere and pick anything. So drafting against that team is borderline impossible. The New York Nutbusters had a dominant game with the Rengar, Ivern, Yuumi strat, which is not something that you see conventionally. So I think they have a lot of kind of off-meta stuff. Or maybe not off-meta if you believe in Church of LS. It's very on-meta. But a lot of stuff like that we might see coming out. Spectres with their dual very strong AD carries is scary. And we do have Avery and Sarverus, which are both pretty new to the server, but they're very good in those solo lanes. The Meta Busters, you never know what you're going to get. They're very fun to watch. I think they were a bit too on meta for my taste during this bracket.
I don't think the name matched during the bracket.
I
don't know.
But they're definitely a fun team. And then
again, they didn't have.
I think that covers all my bases. True.
They didn't have Silico.
Yeah.
I think Silico is going to be the one that's going to really change the game on what their definition of meta breaking is, because that man has played some very strange champions and weird roles and has made it look like it was meant to be there all along.
Yeah, I think the two people who are completely absent from the tournament who are supposed to start are Silico and PB. Hopefully I'm not missing anyone. That would be embarrassing. But it would be nice to get to see some games from both of them. But yeah, I think literally every team we played against, like every team got a win, which is like huge. It means that the games are pretty close. So
the point system is working.
Yes.
No matter how much we hate it. That's kidding.
I don't know. I feel like the league has come a long way from where we started, and I'm really excited for season 5. But yeah. So I guess we're out, but we had a good time, and all 7 of our players that were able to make it for the tournament, everyone got a win. So it feels good to be able to distribute that around the team and not just have it be certain sets of players that get priority or whatever. So found that pretty fun. All right, now on to you. Same thing. How'd you feel about the tournament? How'd you feel about getting to watch the games that you didn't play in today? And what can we expect from your team during the season?
All right. So first part, for the day that I did play and what kind of everything came about there. I enjoyed it. I think the blind pick was a little bit harder for a lot of teams to manage with because of course it's blind pick. But it was fun. It was definitely like I was hoping for the mirror matchup with the Anivia and it didn't happen. I was like, wait, who are we playing? And I was like, oh, Anivia, here we go. Didn't happen. So I was disappointed there.
Smoked him. That matchup is definitely a bit Anivia favorite.
No, 100%. But but day 1 when I did play, it was a lot of fun. Our matchup against Spectres was, that was not a fun game for me. I thought the Vex, I did not do my homework a lot. I thought she was actually in a better position now, and I mean, rightfully she can be, but maybe the draft was just not so good because it was blind. We didn't expect some things. After and when I got benched, seeing Steve play and being able to perform and let everybody watch is amazing. He is very new to the server. He came in during the preseason signups, and he is an amazing player. And watching him come in and perform, Heroic and Aya are also new to the server, and them being able to show off what they're good with and how they play the game and their mechanics and the champions they play. I love watching new people show up. I love watching these new players, and it's something that I've been enjoying and has really brought me back into Scrim Zone, because I mean, you got me originally in here a long time ago, but coming in here and watching these players that are even the subs, you know, Garrett coming in on our team, watching him play, I I hope I see him more.
Yeah.
Those Zaya games were beautiful, and I'd love to see more out of him.
Yeah, I'd like to see him in more in games that I'm not in. That'd be great.
I'll be fine with seeing. I would be fine if Metabusters put him in against us. That'd be that. He even in comms when they were chatting, I hung out in the Discord and muted for a little bit and just watched some of their gameplay, and his comms were good too. Like, I think that just because people are sub doesn't mean they're not relevant. They
Right,
are so
exactly.
good, and that's something I'm super excited for the season, because there's so many team changes that people are going to make on the fly that we have to adapt to and draft. For this season, though, so far, every team, as you said, has won a game. Every team has performed. Everyone has been seen on a champion that they are comfortable with, and it's exciting because last season there was some blowouts and there were some ups and downs for some teams, and it was like it looked like as soon as the season started, it was like, okay, this is kind of like looking how it's going to line up. I can't tell you how it's going to line up right now. I'd love to sit here and say, hey, we're going to be the best. We won this tournament. It's over. And I can't say that. This is an exciting season. I cannot give any predictions of who's going to do what or where it's going to go. But Silico, you better come mid lane when I face you.
I love the call out. Yeah, and I will say, if Garrett is somehow on my team, big appreciate it. I just don't like playing into him because he beats me. That was the comment there. I agree. His comms are very fun. Yeah. But yeah, thank you again for everyone who played in the tournament. I believe Cesarius, Garrett, Joel, Michael, and I are the players who subbed for other teams. I really hope I didn't forget anyone, but yeah, huge shout out.
That was mentioned, yes, amazing. Thank you guys.
Yeah, huge shout out to everyone who subbed for another team. You're sacrificing time with your own team to help out the whole server, so very appreciated. And thank you so much to the captains for helping organize everything.
And thank you, Dean, because you have continued to grow this server and make it such a beautiful home. I was saying it earlier, we were playing Flex Queue, and I don't know about you guys, but so far, ranked for me this season has not been fun. I feel like League has gotten 10 times more toxic in like the past week. And Scrim Zone is like my escape where I actually can enjoy League of Legends again. And you've helped grow this server so much from we met on Reddit. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, true.
I was on Reddit looking for somewhere to play Scrim matches or something.
Yeah.
And Dean was like, join this Discord. And this is before Seasons was a thing. And it was just signups.
Yep.
And wow, this place has gone so far. So thank you, Dean.
Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy. I cannot believe we're at where we are, but couldn't do it without all of you. Definitely looking forward to next or throughout this whole year. We put out a little survey. Admins have talked over it. We're working on a few things, so huge announcements should be coming soon as we progress through the season. Hopefully, we should be doing some more like IRL events and Scrims merch sometime soon. I got to do my research, make sure that we're getting high quality stuff, but
gonna give me a varsity jacket.
I don't know. I think jerseys and hoodies look to be the main thing, and Stanley has offered to look into some other things that we could do. So he does have a 3D printer and is very artsy and craftsy. So I'm really excited to see what he's cooking up. But I don't know, a lot of stuff to look forward to. And thank you again to everyone who was able to make this tournament possible. We really went from struggling to get 10 people to play customs online during COVID, and now somehow when we're in the era of we can actually go outside and interact with people are still choosing to have 30 people on at a time playing a tournament. So it's completely ridiculous. I never would have expected this to happen. So much love and shout out to everyone. Really appreciative of how far this server has come, and really glad that we were able to host this event. Really cool tournament experience, something that I hadn't got to really do before, and we have over $300 for charity, which is amazing. Could not have predicted this much support, so should end up wrapping the stream off about now. Thank you, Valor, for staying up and casting. You can go to sleep now if you want.
Thank you, King.
But yes, all right. Good night, everyone. Thank you for checking out the stream. And congratulations again to the Mass Valorant Pirates and Vet Ranch for winning this tournament.